Hello and welcome to part 2 of a very special Bro Kakaka on One Piece. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
I'm Cheesy D Manfredo.
The Curse of D.
The Curse of D.
Cheesy D Manfredo.
So yeah, we're here to talk about we're going to talk about the second half of the season 1 of the live action One Piece on the Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So basically this covers the Baratier arc in 2 chapters, and then the Fishman, no, that's not true. Arlong Park arc in 2 episodes. Yes. So yeah, what were our general thoughts? Like, did you like the first half of the show or the second half better? Like, I'm genuinely curious.
Damn, I think they're both.
Second half definitely probably was the most changed stuff I felt. I don't know. The things I liked in both parts equally, I think.
Yeah, I'm going with Sam on this one. There are things I feel like there wasn't too much of a inconsistency between both parts, which is a good thing if you like the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, I generally agree. I think that it kind of keeps a pretty good pace the whole time, and I think I just can't talk enough about how I think the Garp stuff is like an amazing addition.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It like elevates some of the early arc stuff just by having something to cut back to.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can talk about the very, very end of it, because apparently that was a little controversial how they end the Garp arc when it intersects. But I thought it was incredibly acted too. I don't know who played Garp, but like that guy and Zeph, when they had a scene together, I was like,
oh yeah,
this
was
is
awesome.
Fucking cinema. Like, I could just watch like this kind of character interaction. Like, it's fucking amazing.
It almost feels a little kind of genius to have these 2 characters like share a scene, because that never happens in like fucking One Piece. There's a lot of like all the characters that don't meet each other and end up meeting each other. It's never too crazy because it just kind of makes sense. Like, oh yeah, they're in the same general area. Why wouldn't they meet each other?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So he's played by Vincent Reagan, who I'm trying to see if anything. He's in 300 and
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Epic.
Has Captain Artemis.
I don't remember that.
I cannot tell you any of these characters'
Same
names.
with Zeph too. So funny little story. My mom actually started watching One Piece.
Hell yeah!
And she really enjoyed it. Actually, she thought it was very cute.
Hell yeah. She's gonna read the manga. She's gonna read the manga now.
Yeah, I'm gonna start shoving that in her face. But no, I watched. I happened to watch a few of the Zeph scenes when she was watching it. And I was like, damn, this guy really is carrying. It's really doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. But I love
Craig Fairbrass.
Not familiar.
Craig Fairbrass. That's
just incredible casting. I think the casting director in general for this show needs to win like a daytime Emmy or some shit, because like,
oh yeah,
they did a good job.
Other than the movie Cliffhanger, I don't really recognize like any of his like work.
Cliffhanger. I don't even know.
That's the rock climbing Stallone movie.
Oh, I remember that.
That sounds like something I've heard about. Sounds like The Climber, the manga The Climber.
It's like a meme thing to say, like, oh yeah, cliffhanging Stallone movie.
Remember that? Shit, I know this one. He voices Gaz in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
That's really fucking funny.
And Ghost in Modern Warfare 2.
That's very fucking funny.
That's
I can hear it. I can hear it.
I do know that.
So yeah, and I guess we can just dive right in. So episode 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Episode 5 is our character's introduction to Baratier. Yes. They kind of do things a little differently here. So
yeah,
there are like numerous changes to the point where we can't get into all of them, but the way that they find Baratier is like slightly different, because I think this is where they insert the Water 7 stuff. Right? Is this the scene where they drop the Luffy, that Garp is Luffy's grandfather, and then he does the scene where he throws the cannonball and inflates?
That was the cliffhanger of episode 4, like, Grandpa? What? And then it opens, and then he does that one bit with the flinging the cannonball. And they do that here now, which was probably
I was
pretty
so
neat.
happy to see that.
Yeah, me too. I wish people were a little bit more cartoonishly buff, or if they did some sort of like his muscles flexing so hard you could see it through his suit, kind of thing. Because I would have killed for that. But no, he just kind of grabs it and flings it.
That is kind of like them really pressing up against reality with like their art style, because they commit so hard to some of the designs that like unfortunately we can't get Whitebeard like how I imagine Whitebeard.
No. They're gonna have to change his, like, they're gonna actually give him a fucking beard because his name doesn't make sense in English.
I don't know about that. I think they're gonna keep it just with his funny little handlebar.
Maybe he used to have a beard. They should do flashback, and he used to have a beard, and that's when he got his name. But then he just kept the mustache. Like, that's Whitebeard, but he got no beard. Oh, he had it when they gave him that name.
It's funny because, like, I guess that's just like a language thing. Because thinking in German, the word for mustache has the word for beard in it, like Schnurrbart.
You know, they could do that because, like, he's called Red Leg Zeph, even though he doesn't have that leg no more, right? Like, you could still call him that.
That's true.
Right.
But yeah. We're getting that's like season 6.
Yeah, we're on season 1. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, we haven't mentioned since we recorded our last episode. The Netflix said it's official, season 2's on the way, which basically means like we're begging for the strike to end so that we can actually begin production.
And by the time of this video, well, the writers one did. The actor one's still going, isn't it?
Yeah, SAG-AFTRA hasn't ended yet.
We're already halfway there. Got it.
Been resolved. Yeah. But yeah, the writer's strike ending, that's kind of amazing. Like the sorry, this is a tangent no one gives a shit about.
No one cares about writers.
They want One Piece. They want to see Monkey D. Luffy inflate his big body, his big round body.
His big balls, and use gum Newton balls on Buggy.
I did like the little inflated thing, and like it's funny because they kind of played off as like Luffy's like, I don't know how I did that. But it really just made me think, like, not even too far into the series, like, Luffy has like such a control over his body that like minor weird shit is like common to see. So I wonder if they're gonna, because like, I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I'm thinking like, all right, like they're gonna have to start showing his powers more. Like, are we gonna see like more crazy stuff? Is it always gonna be like a whoa, how did that happen kind of thing, or is it just gonna be, oh, he just took a bite of gum? That's why.
I just punched a guy from a mile away.
Yeah.
He knew fist. He knew to inflate himself because the spirit of Joy Boy possessed his body in that moment, and that's a spoiler for season 12.
The actors are going to be like in their late 60s.
Well, it takes a long time to get to the One Piece. Jeez.
But I think this arc, especially with like a lot of changes, like some for the better, like the Zoro's bros weren't in it at all.
Yeah, I thought that was
incredibly smart decision. They were like one of the big reasons why I like dropped One Piece, because I hit that point where like I finished Baratier and I was just like, who are these fucking dorks? Like, why are they just like talking so much when like Zoro and Luffy and Sanji are there?
Yeah, and their roles get replaced by Buggy, which is like I
think much better.
W.
It was a big W for us Buggy lovers. Also,
Buggy enjoyers.
Yep. Also, Buggy has become quite like the sexy Tumblr man on TikTok recently.
He did.
There's like Buggy fan cams and whatnot. My partner has my partner's become like a big Buggy head as of late. Also,
we get the Shanks Buggy flashback.
Yeah, they also want to read One Piece now, and they're probably gonna. They probably are gonna do that pretty soon. Actually,
that's awesome. We love when people read One Piece because it's like it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know. You take that leap of faith, and then you just fall into like a pile of gold, like Scrooge McDuck. But there's just so much to enjoy.
But Peter, how am I gonna know when to read One Piece? You won't, Miles. It's a leap of faith. What's up, Danger? He's picking up the manga volume from Barnes and Noble. Now, what's up, Danger?
please, somebody cut that in the trailer.
Peter, when am I gonna know that I can start reading One Piece? You won't, Miles. Just leave faith.
All right, so, but yeah, the as I said, like I thought Zeph was incredibly cast.
Yes,
Sanji. I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to say the Sanji accent is weird.
I don't care about the accent. It's more so seeing both of his eyes, which is like never shit.
And no curly eyebrow.
No curly eyebrow. I think they did that because like he's gonna be in a lot of fight scenes. That shit might fall off in the middle of a fight. I'm kind of fine. Like I don't know. I want to accept it. A part of me is kind of like, oh no curly eyebrow though. But I don't know.
It's like kind of his most like discernible trait because he looks kind of just like a dude. He's like a suit guy.
He does look. Yeah, he just kind of looks like a dude. And every like every character should have that one silly thing about him. Although, like I don't know, even like Zorro in the live action, there isn't too much silliness with the way he looks. Really,
his green hair.
Green hair, and 3 swords. He puts in a mouth every once in a blue moon.
It's very funny to watch him actively do that, and like to see how like intentional the action of like putting a sword and like clenching your teeth is. It's very funny for me to see that, and then like later on when I'm like deep into Dressrosa, and he like spins so fast that he makes like a triangle out of his body and spins so fast that he cuts a mountain in half, and I'm just like, I can't even imagine his teeth in this situation.
Or he has
just a force of nature.
Or he had like 8 arms.
It's hockey.
Yeah,
it's hockey teeth. That's how he's doing.
But I feel like Sanji like fell into like the Usopp thing in his arc, where like he kind of like takes a back seat in his own introduction arc.
He does get a few hits on the one fish man, but I don't know. Like his backstory, I think was efficiently told, and it was long enough.
Yeah.
All the flashbacks, except I think the Nami one. There's a couple of things I think that are like wrong or I didn't like too much.
Nami one was kind of interesting because they aged them up, and
we'll get there. But it's still weird, and like the goodbye that Sanji eventually does isn't that good. I think, especially compared to the manga one.
It was fine. So it's funny because like I saw there were so many people talking about One Piece lately, and somebody made a point that they love the Baratie arc in particular because both Sanji and Zoro cry in it, and it is funny because like neither of them cry in the show because like
they're men.
They're men.
Yeah,
and it's also like the One Piece like manga is just heightened. Everything's so heightened, but. I don't know. Yeah, that moment is really impactful in the manga. I thought it worked really well in the show, personally.
Yeah, I actually do like. Yeah, I liked it. Actually, it might be a hot take. I probably like it more in the show than in the manga, to be honest. Because I feel like sometimes, and this is just because it's cartoon. Sometimes characters act so kind of like in a particular way that makes me think like, I don't know, would realistically someone take all this shit? But I guess that's why it's a cartoon, right? That being,
it's all heightened.
It is all heightened. I like the one bit with the hostess is like a fish man, so they could set up for when Arlong shows up. He's all like, "You're working for the white man, brother." They have you got you serving for the white man, the white man of the sea.
Just like talking about the Sanji Zeph dynamic, like obviously the flashback stuff was good, but the one thing that I really enjoyed, it was like right before he leaves, when Sanji's trying to help him like clean up the restaurant after the fight. Zeph like basically is kind of like he's become that like jaded old man of like denying the all blue. Like that's kind of what Sanji sees him, but in that moment he really is like fuck you, leave. Like if you want to fucking quit, you have my permission. Like go away, like live your dreams. I just thought that scene was really well done.
Yeah,
and I really felt like the emotion between the actors.
Man, remember the all blue?
Yeah, it's what Sanji. It's fucking driving force.
His new goal is to get the all pussy.
It's true.
Luffy, I will find the all pussy, the pussy that feels like all pussies.
The pussy is real.
Can we get much harder? Can we get much harder?
Whitebeard would know.
So hard. So hard. So
That sucks.
Whitebeard would know.
We didn't. Okay, actually, because I'm trying to because I'll say this: I fucking finished watching the series weeks before these guys finished watching it, so I'm trying to remember bits and pieces. There's one part that I think more hardcore One Piece fans would have really hate to see, but I kind of like it because I'm like, yeah, this is something you're gonna have to talk about if you're gonna like want people to take this series a little bit more seriously is that for once, for the first time ever, Luffy's a little interpersonal about his decisions now. He actually stops and thinks like, maybe I do hurt people. Maybe what the decision I made actually hurted my crew instead of helping them. And he never does that shit in the manga ever. Or in the anime.
Yeah, doesn't he also say the quote, I'm not hungry, Nami, in the show too? So
that part was like upsetting. Yeah, because so yeah, that was in episode 6. So after we didn't talk about fucking Mihawk, but like after Zoro gets fucked up, everyone is like mad at Luffy. Like Nami in particular is like Luffy, you made the wrong call. Well, she reads a little story that's like a No Land,
which is like season 3 spoilers.
Skypiea. Yeah, Skypiea, like foreshadowing. But she compares him to like the captain in that story and said like he made the wrong call. He shouldn't have let him fight. And at least in that scene, like Luffy does say like I would do anything but stand in front of someone's dream, which I do appreciate, because like it does give him, it kind of has it both ways. Like it gives him the ability to look at like the safety of his crew, which he, in the manga he does not give a shit about.
True.
And like kind of like that, because like that is like literally Zoro's whole thing. Like Zoro would rather die in a sword fight than anything else. Like,
and yeah, the difference is that like they have a build up to the duel where like in the manga is just like he just appears.
Yeah, okay, that's another thing I wanted to say too. So one of the biggest changes, I guess, in terms of structure in this arc was the kind of like
getting rid of Krieg.
Of Don Krieg. Yeah, Don Krieg.
So,
I thought that was a smart choice. I'm gonna say that right now. That's my
I thought
call.
it was also very smart.
I think it's smart, and I'm glad we still got to see him in action a little bit. Like I'm glad it wasn't just cut completely. I do like seeing like how they would have done the armor if he like was in there, and he still does the thing of like feeding the one guy that comes in there like who's like starved after surviving Mihawk.
I think I really
they kept that in there, and I think that's important to Sanji to always feed somebody no matter what. Like someone who's hungry to always feed them.
That's
100%.
That's what I like about this Mihawk. He hella saved us from a boring ass fight. I'm so happy. And
he did really. He honestly did.
And also, if you notice that in the background, like when Don Krieg is walking up towards him, he's like shuffling up towards him. You can see laying on the ground is fucking Pearl. Like he's like face down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like face down and his like full fucking getup. It's kind of a very blink and you'll miss it kind of moment. But yeah, he's like right there laying on the ground. He just got fucking.
Ah, that's so funny. I totally missed that because that was Sanji's fight, right?
Yeah, that was like. It was with Sanji's fight. No, Zoro was like injured. He's not in this fight because this is I think after Mihawk, right?
The Mihawk stuff happened. That is so funny because like from a writing standpoint. I guess one of the other controversial elements is Garp calling Mihawk to deal with Luffy, because that's kind of like
interesting because it's like
it's a cool way to show the warlords off.
Mm-hmm. But also it's also kind of like you hired like a fucking assassin to look for your grandson, right? Which is an interesting choice, I feel. But I mean,
and like. Someone that was so out of Luffy's power level at that point too. Like he knew like Mihawk is like one of the most deadly people ever. And that's another thing I love too. By showing him like job Don Krieg and like doing the fucking wind slash cracking the ship in half. That was like incredible in terms of like setting the power level, because that's kind of the whole point of Mihawk as I see it. Like he really sets like the bar for Zoro and everyone have really, really high.
It shows you the scale where the warlords are at.
Yeah, like just totally untouchable.
Also, it just, I don't know, it's just really cool the actor who they got for him, who I couldn't find any, like, no Wikipedia page for.
Whoa, that's interesting.
And he looked perfect, and like, I don't know, he's like he just came off awesome.
Him. If I have to pick one person, like, Mihawk feels like it was incredibly perfect. I can't think of like a single issue. The voice, the acting, the costume design.
I remember
every second Mihawk was on screen. I loved it.
I remember watching seeing screenshots of Mihawk, and I thought like, oh, he looks a little bit too cosplay, but I guess that's the illusion with screenshots, because in motion he works really well.
Even his big sword. Like sword, I thought looked great. Like I was like, yeah, that's Mihawk's sword.
Yeah, they really do make it work. I do also like the whole bit how they first meet him, where like Usopp's at a bar bragging and then he like shows up and he's all like, "Oh, tell me more about this Captain Luffy."
Just
Severus
really,
Snape.
it's like really economical writing too, because like that. I mean, obviously Usopp is one of the best characters in One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like you can't even dispute that, and giving him like all these little like, because he doesn't really have his like big main moment until like maybe a little bit later. Like I guess you could say Arlong, he has his good moment, but it's really nice to have these little peppered moments in where Usopp is like cowardly, like the part during the fight in Baratier where he's hiding under the table.
Mm-hmm.
I love that little bit. That was a really good like psych gag.
That is pretty good.
And yeah, him like like telling the fucking one of the warlords of the sea, just really funny.
Drunk Usopp.
I really like to. I imagine what Usopp's like when him being drunk and he's seeing fucking Zoro like challenge Mihawk. I'm thinking Usopp is like, holy shit, Zoro fucking challenged Dracula. Fuck. And then he turns to Nami, and is like, oh wait, but no, he's gonna fight him during the day. That's smart. And he can't say no because I'll make him a pussy.
That's good. And then just like, don't invite him on the ship.
Oh.
We're fine if we just
Right.
don't invite him.
Just don't invite him. We're good. We'll be good. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, I think Mihawk was done well. I like
I fucking loved it.
I like that Buggy came back, which was one of my hopes after the Buggy episode. Is like, God, I hope he's reoccurring. And I did get spoiled for that when I went on fucking Twitter, which is the annoying thing about like dropping all these episodes. I don't know why they still do the whole drop all the episodes at the same time.
I fucking hate it.
They did
It like killed the momentum of the show. Like it always does. Like no, everyone was talking about it like crazy for 2 weeks, and now like it would probably, I guess it would still be airing if they were doing it weekly.
There's-
like no one.
people are still making Buggy fan cams. I still get them.
But it's unfortunately like not a very long tail.
Mhm.
Unlike like The Boys is a really good counterexample, because like when The Boys is airing, it's like
Oh yeah.
every week you get that re-injection of that crazy discussion.
Right, exactly. Like, God, imagine how, God, do you think they would have learned their lesson from the last season of Stranger Things where, like, people should have still been talking about it, but now they dropped it all at once, and it's like, it's fucking lame. It's stupid. It's a very stupid model, even at this point. Right?
Yeah, and like everyone's attention spans are so fried anyway
Mhm.
that they just forget. Like they just fucking forget about it because they move
Mhm.
on to the next thing rather than like
Currently, everybody's like making fun of like Castlevania right now.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, the new Netflix thing came along, and yeah, everyone's clowning on Castlevania.
Because now they're bothered by them saying the F word every other word.
Hell yeah.
I'm so sick of. I mean, like, I guess this is my fault for being on Twitter, but like, it's just so frustrating to see like the same tweet over and over and over again. It's like, all right, I get it. You don't like the Castlevania, like that can just be it.
Don't
like,
watch
one guy got there first. Like
We all could just decide. I mean, that's usually how it is, right? Someone words the tweet in a way that most people agree in, and it spreads around, right?
yeah, same with the Scott Pilgrim. Not to like totally go off tangent. I guess we're on the Netflix tangent right now because that's
Sure.
kind of important to like One Piece. But Scott Pilgrim, the new Scott Pilgrim trailer that dropped, like there was just like a lot of vitriol for like no fucking reason, and these tweets getting like hundreds of thousands of likes of like wow, this doesn't look as good as the movie. It's like, really? Like you're expecting like a TV anime to have like shot for shot movie quality?
I think I saw you tweet about that, and people were like, replying to you, like shut the fuck up, man. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna dox you.
One of the funniest comments was like, how exactly is this an anime? And then like someone else was like, well, it's being done by an anime studio.
Okay, come guys, please,
I know.
fucking
They just
anime.
know- they're tourists. They're just tourists. They don't understand.
It's
All right.
it's booty cheeks. But anyway, yeah, back to One Piece.
It's called. So yeah, I also really like that the Sanji flashback was basically spot on.
Oh yeah,
Like 1 for 1
my
essentially.
my partner cried when we got to the Sanji flashback. They're like, and
It's really good.
they.
I thought the little kid that played Sanji did a really good job.
Me too. I thought he did a good job too as well.
I love their little like scene in the beginning when he's making like, I don't know what it is. It's like a remoulade or something. He's making like this beautiful like French sauce.
He's really
and then-
against oregano, which I find strange.
That was okay. Thank you for bringing that up because I thought that was really strange too.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I think because they probably just like, oh, it'd be a funny joke if he was against one kind of like spice or something. It's Italian phobic, if you ask me. But
I agree.
no
yeah.
one's
I thought it would have been
asking me.
like basil or something, where like there's something they just put stuff on top of.
It should have been.
Because oregano is like
Basil oregano, Star Wars character. Hell yeah, let's go.
because oregano is such like a like fundamental spice. Like that is like any kind of like tomato sauce you're making. I guess
Not-
you're it's like Italian
Not to the
phobic.
French, Jim.
Get-
Not to the French.
Get ready for.
Maybe that is like a French joke. Maybe the French don't use oregano very often. I don't know.
It'll be funny.
French cooking.
Okay, I know
The
how to
French
fix
thing.
this. I know how to fix this. Next season.
I'm gonna Google.
Next
Do
season-
the French hate oregano.
Next season, or maybe the third season, we have Robin and Nami, and they both say like, "I want something with oregano," and then Sanji says like, "Oh, I fucking love oregano. Come right up, ladies."
It's very funny when I
That would
type
be funny.
Yeah.
do the French hate oregano. The first thing that pops is why does live action Sanji hate oregano?
It knows.
Oh, I looked up and there's a herbe de Provence or provincial herbs, which is a French seasoning, does have oregano in it. So
Interesting.
Sanji,
People
I
are
think it,
saying
like, literally is a
because
joke.
Italian versus French thing. I'm pretty sure.
That's
Like French don't like spices.
interesting. I thought they were known for.
That's
their
really funny.
spices.
it's really funny because I can't point to like a character in One Piece that I would consider like Italian. You know what I mean? Like, I
wait,
can-
Al Capone.
Ooh.
oh yeah, there we go. Well, I would say he's like a Jersey. He's like American Italian.
Hey yo! I'm a fortress over here. Get in here.
I'm a big get
Um,
inside my big fortress body.
Yeah, I'm a big
How do you
fucking
think-
fortress. My arm's a fucking billboard.
How do you feel about art/cooking pose? How bad is it that I consider oregano, thyme, sage, savory,
Thyme.
marjoram, and rosemary essentially interchangeable?
That is kind of insane.
That's sacrilege too. A little.
That is fucking insane to be like, yeah, rosemary and sage. If you smell sage, you would be like, how is this person like? Okay, they're just white. That's the problem. All right, moving on.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a cute little character quirk, I guess you could say.
I also like Zeph being the one to treat Zoro.
I think that works. They did the whole. I heard the whole like fish skin trick is actually a real thing. So that makes
Fish
sense.
skin
yeah.
bandage.
Who treated him in the manga? Was it those other like bounty hunter guys or?
It was Nako,
Okay,
Is
well
that
I
one of the
can't.
guys? Is it
which
Nako
is
and
which is
Johnny?
like, old man, which is old man medic that's like on the ship. I get or on the let's
On the
see.
Barati.
Brassier.
Yeah, he's in the village. Like I'm pretty sure he's in the Arlong Park village.
Oh,
Damn.
once again, more economical writing.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense that somebody like Zeph would have like weird like home remedies for like, oh yeah, get cut up. Yeah, we have some extra
Yeah,
fish skin
I'm-
laying around.
And
Yeah.
Zoro in Arlong Park is like, oh, you were fighting while like half your insides are like bleeding out, so
Yeah.
you're actually insane.
Yeah, they do.
We don't get that.
We,
You'd get
It's a little
Zoro just like
downplayed.
massacring a bunch of another race, I guess.
yeah, true. He does.
But he occasionally will do the and grab his chest thing.
Yeah.
All right.
But no,
Uh,
the flashback very good, very spot on, and we get other stuff with like Kobe in this episode, which I do love because like Mihawk tells like Garp like, yeah, they're free to go, they're cool.
And I think this is when Kobe overhears from Garp that Luffy is his grandchild.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he's like destroying the his office as well.
I do love that, but that scene was kind of silly. Like I thought like visually that scene was a little silly looking. Like when I think of like a man who's like extremely angry tearing shit apart, he looked very calm in that scene.
It'd be
It was
very-
one of those
I totally
It'd be
forgot.
very
using,
funny.
like,
He
one
walked
hand to,
out like onto the deck and just started chucking cannonballs
He just
into
starts
the ocean.
wailing cannonballs out. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Roar, roar! He screams into the midnight, into the full moon.
But we get like an introduction to Arlong though as well in this episode, which is like crazy. Like to have that
Wait,
early, I kind of
didn't-
love that.
Didn't we get? Oh no, we got introduction to one of his henchmen earlier on.
Yeah, he's name dropped.
We got like after credit
in the
scene.
Buggy episode.
Right, exactly. Arlong shows up and he does. I'm a big fan of the whole like bounty shows up and they rip it apart thing. I like that. Actually,
very cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cute.
Very distinct. That being and having Arlong show up now, it's another like example of how economical they are with the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and
I will say though, like my biggest complaint, and so okay, I hate to be, you're gonna call me He-Man woman hater over here.
Okay, go on.
Jim Cell.
Jim Cell. I can't believe I haven't heard that before. I felt like Nami may have been the worst of the Straw Hats done, and
I agree.
I think it's kind of, she's in a very difficult position because this is kind of like her arc culminates with like the biggest emotion of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to make Nami like a lot more serious, I think, than she comes across in the manga. Because when I think of Nami, I think of someone with like extreme emotions. Like Nami will be like extremely like cheery and happy, and then we'll get like the classic kind of like manga gag where she like smacks Luffy and like yells at someone.
And she also like flirts to get her way. Like you kind of see that like in the manga with like the flashback with her mom, where Belle is very much like that.
There's a part in when they first get to Baratie where like Sanji waits their table, and then like he offers them like wine or alcohol or something, and Nami was pretty blunt about it, and I'm like, if this was manga Nami, should be like twirling her hair and she'd be like, oh, is it free? Like, kind of like trying to swindle.
She would turn up the flirting to get it for free, like more
like, yeah, once you see that Sanji obviously is like ooh, woman.
I'm so happy Sanji's not like literally like dying over like women though. He's very flirty, but he's not like eyes become hearts and just dies.
If one great thing is that's gonna be like like there's gonna be less of that as the show goes on, which I'm very thankful.
Like we got
I
with
think
Nami's
they could like
sister.
literally fix him. I think they could like just easily fix Sanji.
Mm-hmm.
Like his interaction with Nami's sister is like perfect.
Yeah, the very like little end joke with that.
Oh yeah.
But just to jump back to Nami really quick, I think that's a really good example. Like Nami is extremely manipulative to the point where she rarely like, I don't know, she's rarely like being totally for real with people. She's always kind of playing up her like whatever ditziness or.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish that we'd seen.
She's like the rogue, where she's like, she
exactly.
has the
she's
charisma,
a thief. Like
thief. Like
she should be a little more charismatic. And I don't know the actress's name, but I felt like she was giving like way more of a dour. Like Nami is a very serious character in the live action.
Yeah, she is.
And it makes sense because like I mean that's kind of like a thing with One Piece. Like everyone has like it's almost like the further you go on, the more traumatic the child backstories become.
Right.
But Nami's here is like really, really fucked up. Like they really, not only is like the whole Bellmare stuff, obviously that's bad, but like highlighting that she was literally like chained like 24/7 drawing maps, like it makes it seem like more horrific in the live action than the manga ever kind of insinuates. So I just wish that she was a little more balanced. That was kind of my issue.
I'm hoping that's like what happens later on in the next.
It's like the personality
season.
You kind of expect like Robin to kind of have with like the serious one the entire time. Like the straight man of the party. Where like that's what the early half of One Piece like is a bunch of like insane kids together.
I think I always got the vibe Robin was kind of like silly or like she's kind of has this kind of deadpan kind of like silliness to her.
She's deadpan, but she's like the only like the most normal person. I can't say called the normal one, like the normal person, because no one's normal in the Straw Hat crew, but like the most normal one.
She's very aloof, which I think is it's very charming the way that it's portrayed with Robin. More so, like I don't see Robin as like super serious, as like she's just like extremely introverted.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She just kind of picks her moments. Like Sam and I actually we started watching some of the G8 arc because we've never seen it, and that's like one of the few anime arcs that people say like anime only. What do they call that? A filler arc.
Yeah.
that's like worth watching because it's got like a lot of really fun character writing. And the episode before that, like there's a whole joke where like they're running out of Skypiea and Sanji like hits a branch or whatever, and they're still running, and Robin is like looking at where Sanji fell, and for like 3 seconds says nothing, and she's like, "Are you good?" and then Sanji pops up, and just like that, I don't know, that was like a great like Robin encounter for me. Like I keep thinking about how funny that was. Like Robin's got like really great timing. She's just she's a bit older. Like she's supposed to be like in her almost 30, I think.
Yeah, when they first meet her.
When she joins the series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very, very excited for live action Robin just because she's like my favorite.
You gotta have a Russian accent or a Southern accent.
She has to be a cowgirl. Robin needs to be a cowgirl.
Probably gonna give her a Russian accent.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also glad they kept Sanji smoking. Like, all the time, but he still smokes. I'm happy he still smokes.
Where's his iconic lollipops?
That is like one of those things that like obviously I know smoking's bad. I wouldn't.
Okay, libtard. We know smoking's bad. All right, libtard.
But in fiction, where no one can get lung cancer, smoking is fucking epic. And there is no better character to be a smoker than a fucking chef. Like every fucking cook or chef in the real world smokes.
After on their break, they go to the back door and smoke right outside of it.
Yeah,
well, that's the reason why they smoke, because they don't get a break.
I seen The Bear. I'm aware. All the motherfuckers smoke.
I've seen Jon Favreau's Chef.
Sanji gets a food truck.
I've lived Jon Favreau's Chef.
I confuse Chef with that one movie where they're trying to kill the rat. It's called Mousetrap.
Ratatouille?
No, I just said the name of the movie, motherfucker.
Guy that confuses Chef and Ratatouille.
Yeah, that's me. Dick from a guy that confuses Chef and Ratatouille.
Also, there's that part where like Buggy has like his ear in like Luffy's hat the entire time.
That's the shit I want to see with
That's
Buggy.
great too. The whole like having Buggy's dismembered body feels very like, oh, that's something that would happen in the manga. Someone just has his like dismembered body that's like still alive.
And even just like, I know we keep saying, but like from a writing standpoint, it's so satisfying to bring a character we've already seen back, use their power in a really fun way. Like it also makes you think about like everything that Luffy was, because like right before that scene where the ear pops out of the straw hat, Luffy was having like his very emotional scene with Nami about Zoro being like too wounded. So it's really like, it makes you think like, oh shit, like Buggy heard all that shit and he's still a little cunt about it.
He heard him take a fat shit earlier too. Like,
oh, definitely.
How good.
Gum
black. Yeah, he cries out his poops.
Do you think it would be easy or hard for Luffy to poop? I mean, he's made of rubber. It's probably easier.
He probably has a very easy time pooping, or a very bad time.
Really easily.
The post devil fruit eating poops.
You know what? It doesn't.
Earlier
I was gonna say it doesn't matter if Sanji gets lung cancer because Chopper would just cure it.
I'm just imagining Ace after he ate his devil fruit and like having to take like a fire shit.
A fire shit? That would suck. I would hate to do that.
Or like the smoky poop from smokers.
All right, we can't talk about this anymore.
All right, enough.
The secret lore they don't want you to know about. But
all right, so
like I said, I did. But the goodbye though to the ship though from Sanji. Yes, I wasn't. I love the manga one so much. I was kind of disappointed. It was just like them yelling from across the ship. But then again, they didn't show off like his relationship with the entire ship.
Right, exactly.
Like he did before.
So it works.
That was a little cut. Like, I don't know his name, but there's kind of that one other chef who's like the sous
the
chef.
black guy with blue hair.
Yeah, he is given like a character for sure, but it's kind of like what we were talking about in the last episode we recorded with the dog in the Buggy arc. Like the dog was there, dog. Like they showed the dog, but like the dog didn't have his like importance. Like I don't know if they even
Says
really
you.
like. Well, I'm talking about in the show. Like that sous chef character didn't really get like, because he's supposed to kind of be like a foil to Sanji, like a guy who will stay here forever. Like he'll stay at Baratier forever.
He argues with like Sanji in the kitchen more than Zeph does for like a majority, like the first half of it.
He also has his like other buddy with him too, that they both shit talk Sanji all the time.
Yeah, and it's also just smart to like make Zeph the conflict here. Like make Zeph the guy that hates Sanji's cooking. Like
Yeah, that works.
It just makes you care more about the characters.
Yeah, give Zeph a bigger role too, and they keep giving a big role. I mean, also, I think also the fact that they built these huge sets and they're all like, yeah, we gotta like use them as much as we can. We gotta be very economical with these huge sets.
Yeah, because I guess we can transition to talking about episodes 7 and 8 now. But they do bring back the Bratier set pretty extensively for I think both episodes. Which I also like that. I don't know if we ever saw it in the manga or the cartoon, but anime rather. But there's like a little kind of outdoor bar area on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, me too.
It looks so fucking cool. I would love to just hang out there and get a couple drinks.
An actual cool like restaurant on a boat.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
This is like jumping ahead forward, but it's funnier when this scene is used again when Zeph meets with Garp, and then Helmeppo and Kobe are outside drinking, and the bartender just randomly has crucial info for them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, you just like, yeah, dude, that guy, all you gotta do is ask. Like, it's like people overthink like the most like dangerous mission where all you had to do was just talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's such like a D&D moment.
It
where
really
it's just
is.
like, all right, let me just find like a random NPC that I can just like shake this information out of.
It's like a room that there's a door, but like no one even attempts to open the door to see if it's like unlocked. You just like think it's trapped or like, it's very funny. But
so to kind of transition to talking about the Arlong Park arc, so one of the other big changes was, we talked about how Arlong kind of storms in Bratier. There's a little bit of a fight there. There's a really cool bit too where I like that, like they actually really smart because they kind of took this from later on in Arlong Park, but the part where Nami convinces one of the fishmen to kill one of the Straw Hats, that's essentially like what happens later on by throwing him in the water.
Mm-hmm.
They do that scene here at Bratier where Nami says, why would you waste your effort killing a devil fruit user? Just throw him in the water. Just throw Luffy in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sanji gets a cool little heroic moment where he dives in shirtless.
He show off how huge he is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Sanji's actor was like, I got these fucking abs for this role. Like, I'm going to be fucking on film several times with
Someone's
these abs.
pointed out that like all the like actors in this One Piece adaptation are just like sexy, like unnecessarily sexy. Like even like Usopp, Zoro, they all are just very attractive people. They got the most attractive people they can, and I was this might be sacrilege, but in order to like bring myself up back to speed about what happened, I was listening to a fucking Jeff Fu video.
Oh hell yeah!
And he mentioned something about how like having Zoro also be attractive is another kind of like adds to like the aggression that both Sanji and Zoro have for each other.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah,
because it's funny because like I didn't really get that vibe of Zoro being like an unattractive guy, but hearing a lot of manga readers talking about it, like their depiction of Zoro, and it makes sense because like Oda did that funny little after chapter thing where he like said how many times each guy bathes a week, and like I think Zoro and Luffy are like once a week.
Jesus.
So it makes sense that Zoro is kind of like a grimy, shitty guy, but yeah, he's like Sonny Chiba's son.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
Come on,
he is Sonny Chiba's son. I just found that out too.
I know, it's not crazy.
That is fucking crazy.
Okay, so yeah, Nami convinces Arlong to throw Luffy in the water. And rather than Nami stealing the Mary, Nami just goes off with Arlong, and then the Straw Hats take the Mary to there, which I wanted them to give Nami that moment of stealing the Mary, because I think that's like a really strong moment for her of like, this is how committed she is. Like, she made these guys friends with these guys, but she will just fucking steal their ship in the middle of the night. I think that was and I understand why, because they probably also wanted to film more scenes on the Mary too, because they built it.
Yeah.
But I like that. Wait, when she went with the fishmen, they stole a boat and like left on a boat because they got there via swimming.
Yeah,
originally.
they did.
Yeah, they must have just stolen a boat.
Or just swam with Nami, just underwater.
That'd be very
Hold
funny.
your breath, Nami.
It's gonna be 4 hours.
Oh, Buggy must have fucking held his breath because they were like carrying him in a bag.
Hey, he was in a sack. He was in a burlap sack. He was fine, obviously.
Oh damn! I just realized. Yeah, but Buggy's he's a straw or a fucking devil fruit user.
Yeah,
so
but his
he's
body
been
was in All Around
suffering
Park.
that whole
I was
time.
watching.
I know, but his head's still
I was
underwater.
watching.
That floats.
Watching a recap video. Because I was trying to remind myself what happened in these last 4 episodes. And this guy was recapping it. He was doing it very quick, and when he got to Captain Kuro, and Kuro does his like trick where he moves really fast, it's like, it turns out Captain Kuro is also a devil fruit user, and it's like, what the fuck, like, dude. Have you not noticed all devil fruit users will stop and just explain the name of their devil fruit? They won't just do it and not explain it.
It's you got JoJo stand rules. Like they're gonna have to stop and explain in detail, like
You're right, exactly.
every little thing.
Mm-hmm.
But should we just talk about like I guess the flashback in general for Nami? Like,
yeah, that's
Belmir.
actually how I think that's how episode 7 begins. They show one of the flashbacks.
They show like the first half of the flashback.
I think it's the one where they're playing cards, and it's the one where they're playing cards, and one of them says Snap, and Sam and I were like, oh yeah, like Marvel Snap. They must be playing Marvel
They
Snap.
must play Marvel Snap. Oh, of course.
They're getting just as mad as I do when I play that game.
So yeah, I guess. I thought that like, Child Nami was actually really good. It's always I don't know. I've seen so much discourse online. People hate child actors so much. There's like so much vitriol. People like, oh, child actor.
Why do they hire this ugly child? They should have hired a sexy one instead. That's what I see a lot of complaining of.
Should have hired a sexy 21-year-old child to play this 9-year-old.
They CGI a child in there and have them dubbed over by the actor, but like pitched up.
Child actors should be like played by Muppets or something, or animatronics.
No, by the actor themselves in a green suit, like, but they're
tiny, just like the Love Guru.
They just scale them down.
But I think they were cowards because they did not want to give Belmir her hair, her iconic hairstyle.
Well, they kind of did.
They didn't go all out, Jim. They're cowards.
So I think the problem was that they're using a wig, so they couldn't. You can't
what?
really get like
they
a
do not
buzz
use
cut.
wigs on this show, Jim.
You can't really do like a buzz cut on a wig. Like
cowards.
I think that you would need to like dye the hair. To
Actor
get
did
that.
not commit to the role.
Yeah, they should have let her.
Yeah, let's fucking
dyed her hair or something. I think I didn't like the one moment in the Nami flashback where they're like, they're little kids and they're kind of just wearing the little kid versions of their outfit when she fights.
It's very funny.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
That's
these
true.
are like 5-year-olds. Unlike when in the original manga, it's what's the name of her sister?
There's this thing.
Nojiko? I think Nojiko.
Nojiko is like 5 and Nami's like a baby.
There's a very funny shirt that me and Jim were watching that filler episode where Nami just wear the shirt that says evil, and this is very funny.
It feels like a very Nami shirt.
But I don't know, the one thing I was very disappointed, like they didn't do the Belmir like kick the door down and like point the gun in Arlong's face. I wanted that so bad.
She did point, like she actually shot him.
But the cool thing is that when she like kicks the door down, and they get to the door and like literally points the gun in like into like his like little like base like point blank. It's a cool moment, other than just like him kicking open the door and her just holding the gun.
Belmare. That means beautiful horse.
Does it?
I don't know.
Belle, beautiful mare. Yeah, that makes sense.
And like we didn't get to see like the full extent of her like I don't know like, how her character was in the manga. She just seemed to be mom.
They didn't even have the scene where Arlong says, "I'm gonna put you in prison forever." And
I know.
You can quote me on that.
For life, never to escape, even after liberating Arlong Park.
Damn.
I don't know. I didn't really have like any issues.
It's one of my favorite flashbacks, and I'm just gonna be picky about that moment.
No, I gotcha.
But that's just me.
I think.
So we still get the same old thing with like the promise with Nami and the money, and like we see the town, we see the mayor of the town with like the pinwheel on his hat.
The settings of the town, I thought, kind of like, for me, like were varied wildly. Like I loved Nami's house, or I guess it was technically Belmare's house, and the tangerine fields. Like there's a really cool thing where at the front, I don't know what you call that, like the kind of like there's like a big trellis of like tangerine trees in the front of the house for like a front canopy. I thought that was really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The characters even like sit on the roof for a scene. I was like, damn, they're
They're really
they're using like every fucking
we're
piece
using
of this
these
set.
fucking sets. God damn it, we're not.
No, Nojiko looked perfect as well. Like,
She looked great. I loved her actress too. I thought she like
Mhm.
her anger at Nami was like great, and it really that's one thing too that I think was kind of conveyed better in this than in the manga for me at least. Was like it makes a lot of sense why everyone would hate Nami and why Nami would like lean into that role and like
I said, wasn't
having
it in
her
the
sister
manga,
being
Jim?
mad at her helped.
In the manga, where like everybody kind of knows the reason why Nami's doing it, where in this one they
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, they're.
I forget. I
I
don't
have to
think so. I
reread
think
it.
they all.
I'm pretty sure
I
in the
think they
manga
all don't like her.
They don't like, or they play the role. They know what she's doing and what she's doing it for, but because but
They also really, and this is just like we're talking about like simplifying story. They really like cement the connection between the pinwheel and the tangerine.
yeah,
like,
but didn't really
that's
have
Thing
right.
that.
that like Belmare does. She like will peel a tangerine and like create a pinwheel out of it, which is actually is fucking cool. It's really cool to see, but it's like it kind of the mayor character kind of falls to the sideline. He doesn't feel like as important in the arc, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
he was the one that had the pinwheel focus. Then
I think
Yeah.
this might be, and this is like foreshadowing for how the rest of the production might go, since like a lot of these major arcs that end the season have so much shit going. There's gonna be a lot of like characters who aren't gonna get like fully developed or gonna be thrown to the sidelines, which I'm kind of fine as long as they like just concentrate on like what they would consider to be the core ones, you know.
Mhm.
I think one thing they cut out too was like the tattoo important. I know when Jim, when you forever ago talked about this arc, the manga, where like they talked about the importance of the tattoo and like having them because Ojiko had like a bunch of them. And that's like when Nami
Yeah.
has her new tattoo, it's like really important. But they don't make it a big deal that she has a new tattoo at all.
Mhm.
You know, like there's no reveal of it really.
It's funny because it's almost like reverse. Like they focus when she gets the tattoo. Like that scene I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
Showing that the I think he's supposed to be like a manta ray or a stingray.
yeah.
The stingray fishman like actually we see him like giving her the tattoo, which is really cool. But yeah, they don't really play like it's almost kind of like left as a reveal later on that like oh yeah, Nami got her tattoo like fixed, but it's
And it had a
I don't know,
meaning
yeah.
to it too. Like
Yeah, it's a little more more conveyed in the manga. Going by what you're saying about how like characters are kind of getting sanded down, or like even like shuffled kind of the side, I think that is like fine considering how this season went so far. Just looking at like, it feels like they really have a good grasp on like the key moments that you need. Like, we haven't talked about it yet, but like the classic
We'll
"Help
get there."
me, Luffy" moment.
Yeah.
yeah.
That gets like a ton of focus. All the stuff with Zoro in the Baratier arc. I would say that like Usopp's stuff is a little like underdeveloped. Like that's the one thing that I wish they'd focus a little more on Usopp's
Right.
stuff in his arc. But
Yeah, he got a kiss. That's like more than he got like up
They-
to that
even
point,
like
right?
even like Luffy and the Straw Hats, or sorry, the and Shanks crew, like seeing like all that, giving us all that time, it really does a lot for like we don't need to see like every single fucking character when we get like a strong connection. So I can see that like going forward, like there's a ton of characters from Alabasta that we can shave down.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't need to have like every single numbered
No.
member of
Every
Alabasta.
time I-
of the
Every time I
profiles.
reread
need, like, yeah.
Alabasta,
We-
I get reminded of a character I forgot about.
We need Bon Clay. That's all we need.
True.
Yeah, Bon Clay. That's the one. I was thinking just like I saw a really good meme that made me think about Bon Clay a lot today, where it was like like first time anime watchers seeing Bon Clay, and they're just like, oh, who is this stupid guy? And then it's like manga readers, and it's like every like fucking like saluting, like crying, like internet reaction, like Snake crying and saluting, like that one guy like screaming and saluting. Like Bon Clay is just fucking revered by everyone.
True.
Also, back to the really funny. They had the corrupt Marine again, but they had him in this stupid like bear hat Like
They did it, and the whiskers, and he
whiskers.
had his little fucking whiskers, like,
or a mouse
I-
or whatever. He's supposed to be a rat, I guess.
oh yeah, I guess he's a rat, right? That makes sense because he's a rat. I fucking love that. I love that they commit to like, and same with Garp has that like
He
bulldog
does.
hat that he
I
wears.
felt like that.
I
I
love
felt like
it.
that his bulldog hat could have looked better. I probably maybe mentioned this in the previous episode we did of this, but I'm so glad someone didn't look up to his hat and said like, "Load the hat, sir," or something like that. Like, you know, none of that fucking like, so
Exactly.
who's gonna talk, you or me? Like that. None of that shit. You know.
Oh my god, you saying that just like gave me a visceral. Like that fucking that one from Star Wars. Is, like one of the
When
first
they
lines
said
from
that,
Star Wars 7.
I was thinking like, oh no, I'm not gonna like the rest of this movie.
Yeah, that's one thing that really One Piece really doesn't have too many like that happened moments. Like the one that I can think of from this batch was the part when he inflates his body, and they were like, "Luffy, you can do that." He's like, "I guess so." Like, and it's funny because it's like a shocking moment. Like it works there. It's not like a. I remember with Sam and I saw whatever the newer Doctor Strange movie.
Multiverse of
like-
Madness.
Yes, thank you. There was literally a moment in like the first 20 minutes where like Wong and Doctor Strange are like, "You lost her, didn't you?" And then Wong's like, "Yeah, I lost her." And it's just like, it's like one of the most like, how have they not learned their lesson yet? Like, why are they still doing this?
Your name is
So it really should.
your name is really Don Flamingo Don Quixote. What the fuck, man?
That would just be
I'm gonna
unbearable.
fucking
Yeah,
kill
having
myself.
what's the word for verisimilitude? Like just having it be like the world is like believable. Like the characters don't constantly like point out how weird the world is. Like
Yeah,
it just makes you like it. Like I think that it just proves that
It's normal to
audiences
them.
love this shit.
yeah.
How
be
many
sincere.
old fucking boomers have watched this show and have been like, "Yeah, wow, like I really, it's funny, it's cute,
Mhm.
it's like I like seeing that Luffy character."
Yeah, that's a one thing that people like really have. And this kind of goes. I tweeted about this, but it kind of goes about like the one thing people like really overlook about like campy stuff is that there has to be like a level of sincerity, you know, of like, no, I'm taking this shit 100% seriously, and it's kind of like with the Adam West Batman. Like every time there's like a new villain, he doesn't like think that, oh, that's so fucking lame or weirdo. What the really? That's your fucking like. He's not like that. He 100% takes all the villains as legitimate friends, no matter how like weird or confusing they are. Everyone is like sincere about like the positions they take, you know. And that's, I think, one thing I like about One Piece. I mean, they do have their moments where like, this guy's weird, but in that, not that like, oh, it's weird. It's like, it's weird in it's weird in shit like, oh, normally a guy doesn't just start eating your ship, you know. That's kind of weird, you know. Yeah, that's a weird thing that he gets on our ship and starts eating it. That's weird.
And it's not like a whoa, this guy. It's like an exasperated, like he took a bite out of our ship. Like it's one of those
took
kind
a
of
bite
things.
of gum.
And even with Luffy too, like I think Luffy's a good example of a character that is viewed as weird. Like how many times in an arc does an arc character see Luffy and is like, is this guy for real? Like, but it doesn't feel like a whoa, who is this crazy character? It's just like he's someone that just is not normal in any way, and he just, his priorities are so fucking flipped that everyone is just taken aback by him.
It's very funny that like you have like Brook the skeleton, so like when he has him later on, like, oh yeah, he became a massive celebrity, so no one's gonna be really surprised to see like a skeleton now.
That is true.
That's pretty good.
I've never really thought about that. That is actually a really good, like, that was really smart about it.
That's pretty good. I wish I liked Brooke more, but that's pretty good.
Oh damn! I feel the same fucking way.
Well, you get, I mean, you're on the whole cake. You'll get some Brook stuff. So
Well, they're gonna fix Brooke in the live action.
They would totally fix it. As long as he just doesn't talk about underwear.
Yeah, I'm so fucking like, talk about a character that got instantly flanderized the moment he showed up.
That's so
he gets some
fucking
cool
true.
things coming in a whole cake, but yeah, he doesn't get much at all of everything before that.
It's like irreversible damage for me. Like
For having
the
one
Laboon
of the-
stuff is really good, and the Binks Sake song is really good.
Yeah.
But oh boy, it's like, oh, it's hard to deal with him.
True.
That whale is carrying his resolution.
It really is. Like it really fucking. I hope he dies the second he sees it. Like,
You guys been seeing?
Laboon freaks
You guys
out.
been seeing those like it's been going around, but it's like a list of like made up like One Piece fun facts, and like one of them is like, "Oh, Labu is already dead. When Brook finds out, he's gonna fucking kill himself for real."
It's probably like shitty One Piece details or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, that's what
I love
there's
that.
one where it's like the guy who's like trapped in the treasure chest. What's his name? Goemon. The One Piece is inside his treasure chest. In the ending, Luffy's gonna fucking kill him to get it.
I really love the idea of Blackbeard killing Laboon for like no reason. Like that'd be awesome.
I am evil, so I
Epic-
sucked him up.
Epic Brook fight. Actually, fuck, Brook might be the crew member that dies next. Because it won't be
Good.
that. Oh no. Oh no! Damn, how far are you guys in the manga?
I'm not caught up, baby boy.
I'm- The very beginning of Act 3 of Wano.
Damn. All right, yeah.
Yeah, we're not even 1,000.
I stopped in
yet.
the middle.
No
I stopped in the
spoilers.
middle of the Kaido fight because it was a drag, and
Because you were loving it so much that you.
I was
couldn't- you
overwhelmed.
had
I
to
was
put it
like,
down.
oof.
Your heart was beating.
I was
so
like, I'm
fast.
having a panic attack. I'm having a realistic panic attack over here.
I'm having a realistic.
They're having this fight, and all I could think about is, where's Buggy? What's Buggy doing?
Where's Chopper? Why hasn't Chopper been in the
And-
manga?
and
for
every
400
time-
Why is
pages?
Chopper also flanderized?
Yeah, it's a shit. Don't worry. One peak will fix this. One peak will fix it all.
Oh yeah, live action One Piece.
They need to, like One Piece. Like they need to make a One Piece version of Made in Abyss where they remove all of the creepy stuff. That's
Every
what they
time a
should do.
child pisses.
I saw that tweet too, Jim.
That tweet made me so mad. All right, we can't talk about this. So, all right, we the Straw Hat crew. Okay, I was.
They,
get the
they
Jinbei
arrived
reference.
on the island. I did like that little moment where oh yeah, Jinbei was referenced. I did like that little moment
Yeah.
where
God.
Luffy shows up and they're all like, "Who are you guys?" Like, "We're pirates," and they're like, "Pirate hunters." Yeah, we're after
Yeah.
Arlong.
Shut
That's
up.
a good like first mate Zoro moment.
Yeah.
because like that's kind of something that a lot of people love to focus on. Of like Zoro. Zoro is technically the first mate,
Yeah,
so he
true.
should really be Luffy's like backup guy.
Uh-huh. And his lover too, canonically.
It's true. No, him.
Do
and
you not
Sanji.
know that when Zoro becomes the world's greatest swordsman, he's gonna get Ivanko to like change his gender, and then he's gonna become a woman, and he's gonna be like, "See, a woman can be the world's greatest swordsman," and then he's gonna marry Sanji. Sanji's gonna be like, "Zoro,
That's
you got
true.
boobas now. I love you. We should make this official."
He's gonna
I
make a big heart. He's gonna do the wolf pounding on the table meme.
don't know. Then Ivankov would punish Sanji for being a homophobe by turning him into a woman or something.
That,
Oh, if only.
if only. But
That's how they're gonna fix the time
That's
skip.
not gonna fix.
that's how
Sanji.
that's not gonna fix.
Yeah,
They're gonna do
fix
so
it.
much fucking fixing. Hell yeah.
Me and Jim talked about this a lot too, like forever ago. Like to fix Sanji, or like the time skip should have been him being turned into a woman.
That's such a genius idea. I really hope they do that.
I really love the idea. Okay,
But
I'm
you have
just gonna talk
to
about
be a
this 'cause I
sex
love this.
pest first in the live action, which he didn't seem to be in the live action.
They could still do that, but I love the idea
can
of
still
like,
ruin
okay,
him.
making Sanji. What's the word in Japanese? It's like Okabe or something. It's like male daughter. Like that's like a whole thing. But like make Sanji. Okay, he's like a horn dog, whatever. Time skip. He's a woman. They make him a woman, and then he becomes like really into that identity. And then at the end, he gets turned back, and he's later like from that point on, he's more of like an older sister type to Nami, and that would be a very funny dynamic of him acting like an older sister and Nami being really creeped out by that. And it's like you can still keep the creepy dynamic, but it's like we're flipping it on its head.
Oh, you just tone it down. I think that's I kind of like with the ending of when how Sanji hits on like Nami's sister. I thought that was pretty okay. You know.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was like very good and tame, and not like make me feel uncomfortable after reading it.
Tame's the word. I think tame is the word there. Like it fits.
I like actually no, I don't like. Here's a nitpick. When we get to Arlong Park and they're all these just guys partying, you know, and I think that's fine. But I think the one complaint I had is like, this is a little too. This is just guys. There should be a couple of mermaids here, you know. Like this is gonna be like a real party.
That would be
If you're gonna
really
play,
cool.
if you're gonna play the hip hop music, and you're gonna have just a bunch of
Where's the babes?
Yes,
Mermaids are like rare commodities in the One Piece
at
world
least just like
anyways.
2 mermaids, like maybe in a tank or something, or like flirting with the fish guys. And
I get
That
annoyed
would've
thinking
been
about the
great.
One Piece mermaid, so I don't really don't
Oh, I love the One Piece mermaids. They're
fucking
silly.
hate the giant mermaid.
Oh,
she's
great.
beautiful.
We love
Yeah,
her.
Cannot
I wish
stand
all
her.
women were giants.
It's just like if Nami was like a really large mermaid.
That's
like, isn't
every
that
character
awesome?
is Nami, but X.
But Nami, but a little bit different.
Oh man, did
Is-
you guys ever see you guys know Simsy art? I think you know who Simsy is, Jim, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. He made this one chart. I don't know if you guys seen this before, but it's basically like
Oh, I
he
have.
made a chart of the 3 type of like One Piece women, and it's like Nami types, Robin types, and the third one is
Divergent.
yeah,
Or something.
Divergent,
Divergent.
Aberrants or something like
Aberrant.
yeah. It's a
Yeah, I was trying to find that. Because I was
This one right
there's
here.
a lot of discourse. Oh, fuck yes, cheesy. I'll include this in the show
Yeah.
notes. This is so fucking awesome because I was talking with one of our friends, Kazoo. I want to make like a Nami. Is this Nami quiz, like an online quiz, where it's just like a close up manga shot? Yeah, literally. Look at these Nami types.
Oh my
like
god. There's really...
any like a close up
the
of any
first
of these.
4
and it's like,
look.
oh shit! Is
The
this
first
Nami?
4 you could convince me are just Nami.
I'm pretty sure number 2 is Vivi. I have no fucking
Number
idea.
Number two is
Number
Vivi.
2 is Vivi. Number 3 is
Rebecca.
yeah, it's lesser Vivi. Number 5 is the
Okay,
big
the-
mermaid.
The Robin, like, I legit thought the love interest for Sanji in Dressrosa was like a weird Robin like clone or some shit. She's like way too close. To
What?
Only 2 in the lip subtype.
As far as we know, this needs to be updated. They gotta add the Vegapunk girls into this.
I love like ugly subtype is just big mouth.
Old, once become an older woman,
Why do you
become
think-
ugly.
God,
There's been a lot of discourse lately, and it's really hilarious. It's like One Piece fans trying to like say how other shonen artists' art styles have,
Oh my
like,
God.
same face syndrome, and it's like you cannot you can like One Piece, but you cannot pretend like
Yeah,
there aren't a million Nami fucking
I-
Nami
I-
types. Even like there's a lot of Robin types.
I think it
too.
finally happened. It's because there's this kind of like troubling. There's this kind of paradox with One Piece and its popularity. It is one of the most popular manga in the world, except for America. Up until recently, though, and it's been slowly building, and this is probably what gave them the confidence to like greenlight the live action One Piece. And I'm pretty sure live action One Piece, the reception's pretty good, especially from like the normals, the non-anime fans. They've been really liking One Piece. So with that being the case, now it's One Piece fans' turn to be super fucking annoying about it, and everyone's like ripping them on it too. And I think an example is the whole like, it's been enough time, Gear 5 is more iconic than Super Saiyan kind of memes,
God. Get that fucking
Big
gladiator
boobs,
Rebecca shit.
old lady, extra.
But should we talk about like the scene that like the iconic?
Wait, sorry. I do want to say, so you're talking about the party scene. One of those like, it's hard for me to like rationalize in my brain. It seems like there's like I was seeing like Jack Daniel's style bottles, like liquor bottles, and there was something really weird to me about like seeing these like very detailed like brandy sort of bottles, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, like, because Arlong Park is mostly just a bar.
They made it like a theme park. In the
Yeah,
live
they
action.
did. There's-
Like Buggy's,
Which is what it's supposed to be like that.
yeah, Buggy's body is like on like the dart throwing
Mhm.
like game.
That was also very funny and cute. I liked that.
I think.
But yeah, we should probably talk about the iconic scene. How do you guys feel about the version of it in this?
I thought it was
I
fun.
thought I had a couple of good things going for it. I assume all the fishermen are gay because there's no women around them.
No Hachi, sadly. No weird octopus.
Yeah, Hachi's not. You know what? They can
Yeah.
still go on with the rest of the story without Hachi. I could
I
see
know.
a million other characters taking his place.
I thought Hachi was going to be way more important than he actually was later on, based on like. So as I was reading the manga, I was like, okay, Hachi got a lot of focus. Whoa, he got his own like cover story, and then it's like you get to Fishman and like 800 or what, like 700, 600 chapters in. And Hachi just kind of chills, like he just kind of like hangs out, like he doesn't really do anything.
I just wanted to see what he looked like.
Hachi's like the reason why Luffy punches the Celestial Dragon.
That is true.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm surprised.
Okay,
I'm surprised you forgot about that. Yeah, because like the Celestial Dragon is like shooting Hachi. Yeah, and Luffy's like,
all right, I take it all back.
I'm reading. I was reading a trivia note. And there's something about Hachi and it came up there that, like, apparently there was a pufferfish that Nami was playing Snap with named Hachi, but he was like a pufferfish man.
Yeah, you know what? I heard about that,
too.
There
was one guy that had, like, I don't know, maybe it was the pufferfish guy, but he had, like, a lot of facial prosthetics, and I was like, is that, like, their kind of attempt at doing, like, a Hachi character design?
He comes back later. Like, that one specifically.
That'd be really fucking stupid. But, like, he is, like, I understand why they didn't include him, but it's like one of those things, like, unfortunately, like the way that One Piece arcs are built and they start hitting this point, like, since Baratier, every character, like, well, the main dudes get, like, their one-on-ones. And, like, we didn't really need to have a Zoro one-on-one here, I guess. They kind of, him and Sanji get to have a moment where they kind of, like, fight over the spotlight.
I'd like that a lot.
And, yeah, I thought it worked well. Like, I really like seeing Sanji kick stuff. Like, I'm like a closeted Sanji fan. Like, I hate that I like Sanji.
Jim,
and I want more for
Sanji. I admit it.
There's not many like proud Sanji fans out there. No one's a proud Sanji fan.
Yeah.
Because like I love his whole thing about like how he limits himself to only kicking, and I think it makes his fights really, really fun. And the part when he does his little like remoulade, whatever, like fondue, he says all the French words and starts kicking. I was like, oh yeah, we're here, baby.
I'll wait till your leg lights on fire.
How far are you in the manga, Jim?
I literally just met Sanji's family.
Oh wow. Okay, so
like yeah, so I haven't started Whole Cake yet.
Okay, all right. It was a bit of spoiler, I was gonna say, but never mind.
Spoilers. One Piece families are fucked up.
Family be fucked up. Damn, no one raises their kids in One Piece.
Yeah, no one in One Piece has fucked up families, so that's a huge spoiler.
Yeah,
also, I really want to see him spin so fast that his leg catches fire.
He grows 6 legs.
And then grows 6 legs.
His
and
special
kicks,
third leg flame.
Yeah, I like Sanji. I love the idea of like we can fix Sanji. Like we can do Sanji better.
I can fix him.
But yeah, we'll see if that comes true in Whole Cake for you, Jim.
Yeah, in Whole Cake season 24. We'll see.
See Big Mom played by, I don't know,
Rosie O'Donnell,
Melissa McCarthy. I don't know. She played Ursula.
Melissa McCarthy. She would.
They CGI her giant.
No. They get her in like the whale-esque bodysuit though.
The whale.
No, she's like in a little rascal the whole time. The rascal's like the rascal is alive. Just like
and the only advertisement. The only advertisement you have is just one picture of Miss McCarthy, like in the fat suit, just looking backwards, like in the whale, like the only whale promotion.
That'd be awesome.
It's funny. When we started watching the show, and we got to Alvida at the start. My partner was like, "Oh, is that Big Mom?" I'm like, "No, no, Big Mom is way bigger than her."
4 years. 4 years in the anime, I thought Big Mom was Alvida.
Yeah,
Big Mom got introduced.
That seems like a common thing.
I typed in Big Mom live action. I get the poster for Big Mama's house too.
There's this meme I saw I thought was really funny, and it was like if Kishimoto, the author of Naruto, wrote One Piece. And it's like that one scene where the Marine Admiral with the magma power kills Ace. But instead of Ace, it's like just a whole line of different characters, all with like his long ass arm for each one of them. and it's like Big Mom, Kaido, Crocodile. It's like all these different characters. And they all have flashbacks that didn't happen. Like Big Mom raising Luffy when he was a baby. Kaido teaching Luffy how to fish, and just all these shits that didn't happen. Awesome. It's really good. I love it. They should do that in the Netflix version.
Do that.
Okay, so
But
that being said, the Arlong fight, it was kind of they undercut it a little bit.
I like how he had his sword.
Yeah.
He had his sword, his Saul's sword still though. That's
I liked.
great.
They kind of nodded at a lot of things, like the teeth
Yeah.
thing. Like they nod to it, but they don't quite do it as fun as in the
I
manga.
think I like the Luffy destroying the Nami room better in the manga because like he's not told what the room. Well, like the thing is like Nami doesn't tell him what the room is for. Luffy just kind of builds the pieces upon himself, right? Like he just looks around and he sees like the ball and chain, and he knows instantly, oh, I'm going to destroy this because he just gets Nami at that point. He doesn't need Nami to tell her that like, oh, I was traumatized in this room. Like no, Luffy just knows by looking at it, right?
They have to spell it out for
Speaking
us.
of like reusing sets a lot, that
Exactly.
room, the fight is just in that room.
That was another thing too. Is like I understand like how they could justify that with the set. Like, okay, we need to like have a lot of action, like things happen here. But yeah, like in the manga, they fight mostly outside, which I like that they fight right next to the ocean, right next to the water, and then he gets knocked into that room, and it's kind of like, I don't know. There's like as you said, like Luffy looks around, he has like a revelation. He like puts the pieces together. It makes him feel more like a Luffy has like a weird emotional intelligence that like
Luffy
comes and goes, and that
Luffy
was a good moment for
does
that.
not have a single thought bubble in One Piece manga. That's the thing, where he just talks. He doesn't have any thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
In a thought bubble.
He has to like say his thoughts aloud. for
Yeah,
him
they
to
just
be real.
say everything out loud. Like, oh
Yeah.
wow.
He's an NPC. He has no internal
True.
monologue.
Yeah.
And-
But no, the conclusion was still the same thing of like just doing the big kick.
the big
The whole point is that it's about destroying the room. This is what I love about One Piece.
Destroying
like,
the room, destroying Arlong Park completely, like the landmark
Yeah.
that towered over the village and the
Mhm.
island.
true.
It like this is why One Piece is so fucking good. Like and like Skypiea, I love Skypiea so much. The point of Skypiea at the very very end, Luffy's not trying to beat the bad guy. He's trying to ring the fucking bell to make everyone in the world know that Skypiea is where the Eldorado is. Like that's what the point is in this fight. The fight is not to beat Arlong. The fight is to destroy like the things that Arlong has made Nami do. Like beating Arlong is a nice like consolation prize. And it just ties the characters so well together. And like that's why like I'm hopeful that they give Nami more of her manga personality because like this is kind of like the big shackle off Nami. Like that's kind of the thing weighing on her in like the first 90 chapters is this big like responsibility where she technically is betraying them. Like she was like a double agent. And that's something the show does well too. I like how they play into that, and Luffy's like insistence like no, Nami's our friend. Like that I thought that was done really well too.
No, I agree. I think it's really well. What do you guys think?
And that's when One Piece gets bad, it's like Luffy's like, oh damn, I guess I got to power up to beat the new bad guy. I got to make a new I have to invent a new power up to beat the bad guy. I fucking hate
how I probably said this before on the previous podcast. I know I mentioned this part in a podcast on some random podcast, but I really don't like how One Piece kind of solves the waiting for Goku problem, but then it runs right back into that problem the more it goes on.
Yeah, Dressrosa literally did. Oh, Luffy's powered down. We gotta run around and keep him okay till he gets his power level goes back up.
I wish some of you were like on the Kaido fight because I have a major like I think it's not a surprise something similar like that happens during the Kaido fight, but like in my head I'm like, oh, I know how I would have fixed this. I know where you could have done that, but like done it differently instead of another like, oh, everyone get your ass kicked for 10 minutes while Luffy saves the day. Right? Yeah. It's just my god.
That's why Hunter x Hunter's
true.
The climaxes are always so unexpected. It's not just all right, Gon needs to get a new power.
Gon needs to defeat Crollo.
This incredibly complex series of events transpired, and the bad guys lost because of a really weird outcome.
I mean, it could be like Naruto, where if fighting doesn't work, just talk no jutsu, and they'll like give up.
A 20 charisma score.
Naruto does have a fucking 20 charisma.
Hey, bro, you should kill yourself. This is why you want to do it.
Yo, Pain, me and you aren't so different after all, man.
Yo, Payne, if I was you, I would straight up kill myself, dude. Straight up.
I would cast mass revive, and then you should die, and then all of our problems would be solved. And he rolled a natural 20 on
Can't wait for Netflix. Oh, you know they're gonna do like Netflix Naruto now. Like
I know.
With the
Oh my
success
God, I
with
can't
this.
I'm waiting for Evangelion.
No,
Yo.
I heard
I'm waiting
that
for
somebody
Ava.
Timothy
said they should do
Chalamet,
live-action Naruto.
Shinji, let's go. Yo, you ready? You ready for Timothy Chalamet, Shinji?
Who's the girl? Who's the girl from Wednesday? Oh, she
Jenna
can be
Ortega.
Red.
No,
Zendaya
Zendaya.
is Asuka.
Zendaya's Asuka, dude. It's so obvious. Like,
Zendaya, Asuka, yeah, and then causes a million races to get mad
right,
online.
exactly. Oh, fucking mwah, beautiful. We live in the good
God,
timeline.
I remember somebody made a post though of like if they do like live action Naruto, the entire cast should be
That
black
was me.
and it'd be perfect.
I said
like,
that. That's my catchphrase, actually.
Like there's like the costumes stay the same, the entire cast is black, and it'd just be 100%.
It would work. Yeah, it would
be,
work.
yeah.
I agree. Like
Let's Kishimoto. Let's do it, dude. He'd probably be down. He gives me that vibe that like, yeah, just as long as I get a paycheck, he gives me that vibe.
I don't know
Who are
what
the guys that do the anime house videos?
Yeah.
They should just be in charge.
you know.
of
Lord
I don't know what
Vader.
we're gonna do when they get the Killer Bee and Rakage.
I'll make
but
them
that's
white.
Fine. We'll figure it out.
Make them
Make them Haitian.
I was gonna say make them like
Make them Jamaican. They could be Jamaican. They're Caribbean. They got like hard Caribbean accents, even though they live in the clouds or whatever. I haven't seen Naruto.
Instead of
I've
rap,
never
they
heard
just do
of something.
reggae instead of rap.
Yes.
Oh,
What are
yeah,
you doing here,
nailed it.
Sasuke? This is awful.
I could have swore I heard
Netflix,
something.
you heard-
Okay,
Give us a
all right.
call.
So anyway, what do you guys think about the Garp fight? Because I liked it. I thought it was like
I
I
like
thought it
that.
as a new addition.
I didn't
thought,
mind it.
Like, yeah, this works.
Yeah,
It's funny because I listened to the Jeff Thu video
Nice.
as well, and that was something he brought up as like an issue of like it feels out of character for Garp to do like because essentially it sets the whole season up as like Garp testing Luffy, which I do agree is kind of weird, but like I don't know, it just feels kind of like it feels like a bit of an anticlimax. I
Yeah.
guess that was kind of my issue with it.
it's also supposed to be there for Kobe and Helmipo as well, just to like say no, to not follow orders. It's like
That's great, and also Kobe giving Luffy his first bounty
it's great.
is like a really
Yeah,
great
it's a good
moment.
bookend
Because the
to
problem
that.
with Kobe is that he's just kind of dropped by
Right.
the manga.
And then like them saying goodbye to each other, like him being so happy that like it's great. Like the great send off. They actually seem more like friends and friendly rivals coming into the future,
Mhm.
like better.
True, exactly.
Other than Kobe
Mhm.
just showing back up saying, "Hey Luffy," and then bye Luffy.
Right.
It was fun seeing Luffy do like the slingshot move because to me that's like the most fun thing you can do with like a stretchy character.
Hell yeah.
We didn't talk much, but like yeah, Usopp basically had his fight be practically kind of the same.
Yeah, it
pretty
went
much.
down pretty similarly.
Yeah, that was probably like the most straightforwardly adapted segment. I would
Mhm.
say
He does like the catch up fake death scene still. Like it's great. I like Usopp having his one little fight and showing off what Usopp is like. It has me excited to see some of the future Usopp.
I fucking loved Usopp. I thought Usopp was
I
absolutely
liked
Yeah, he
it.
was.
I don't get Jeff Fu's complaint about like, oh, but no one was there to see that, and it's like, yeah, no one was there to see that in the manga either.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's, like,
the
the
joke.
point.
That's
Like-
Yeah,
the
so
joke.
he tells
Yeah.
the tall tales. Yeah, exactly.
I think the only complaint we had about Usopp was like he got shafted in his own introduction
But
arc,
he
which I
but he
kind of
got
said the same thing about.
but he got some of that
Sanji.
mayonnaise at the
Mhm.
end of the day, so it's okay.
And even in like the manga, his flashback wasn't that detailed or long either. It was like the exact same thing the show showed off.
Did we mention that
Mhm.
his flashback was kind of funny in the live action? Like it's like
Yeah, it was
like
it's like half. I thought it was kind of half baked. It was. It
like
was
she
kind of funny. It was
dies.
played as a joke, I guess.
I was watching a recap. I think I mentioned it before. There was a guy recapping the first season, and it's like, and he did the whole thing where I mentioned earlier, where it's like, oh, Captain Kuro turned out to have a devil fruit. There was one part where like he's doing a recap episode by episode, but there's one moment where he like mentioned something that happened in a previous episode, but he brings it up in another one, and it's the fucking it's the Zoro flashback. He mentions that one during the Mihawk fight instead of how in the Usopp one it's him climbing out of a well is when he gets that flashback for some fucking reason, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think that's the one thing. Like if we remove the well scene.
The well scene was really
like,
weird.
Oh, it's so hard to get out of this fucking well.
I know
like,
it was
greatest
weird.
enemy.
It was weird when we talked about it, but even like in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, that well was kind of a strange.
Oh wait, what if his
Zoro's flashback.
What if his friend died because she fell down a well? That's how they could have tied it.
That's Kino. That's Kino.
Yeah. My one change.
I have a bunch of other thoughts about.
Jimmy.
The Nami sods. So, I forget them all actually.
Okay, great.
She's hot.
One thing I thought was really funny. So we were talking about the Usopp fight. So the guy he fights is like he's supposed to be like a kissy fish, and his name is Chew.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I thought that was funny because like in Japanese, Chew it's like the onomatopoeia kiss, or it's like the sound for kiss. And I just thought that was really funny that they just kept his name as Chew instead of making his name like Smooch or something.
Yeah, actually.
And I thought his face looked good. I loved his fucking
I like it.
Yeah, I think the prosthetics all look pretty good. I wanted to see Arlong's nose break for a second though, but it didn't happen. Sadly,
that'd been great. Like if Luffy punches him hard enough, it breaks or something. Or, I mean,
that would have been.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. There's a lot of moments they could have done. That Yeah, that was kind of hoping for, but I guess them is the breaks.
So
0 out of 10.
So we had like some of the or towards the end of the episode after credits scene. They had an Alvida meeting Buggy. Do you think we're going to get skinny Devil Fruit Alvida next season?
Hopefully not. That's like something I'm not like. We don't need that. It's fine.
Or will she have the fruit but still be her normal size?
I think they'll do that. I think like. I'm just thinking about like the fucking Twitter post that Netflix would get if they did like they cast a skinnier actress to play Alvida,
or she had like could switch between like her size. She like smooth out her size whenever she wants.
She get bigger, you know. She get massive. She becomes Big Mom. That should be the next. She becomes Big Mom. Yeah. I'm gonna foster. I'm gonna like. And the time skip is actually like 30 years, so she could have all those kids.
30 years.
Or Luffy's like a 40-year-old.
Yeah, they're gonna keep her. I did like that little scene where they meet though. That was cute.
Great. And we have to get like the smoker tease as well.
Oh, this. You know,
that's one of those things. It's like, is that really like your end credits scene? Like when I was watching that, I was like, is this really like the thing you're teasing here?
I was kind of hoping. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for Ace or like Crocodile or like Smoker. Like yeah, I guess that's the person who's gonna be chasing them up into Alabasta.
In the newspaper stuff, we got a tease. If you look at it, you can see a Revolutionary Army post on the newspaper.
Oh, that's cool.
That's like one thing I noticed.
I think so. Like the idea of like we need to have like a Navy character chasing them, like that was very smart.
Yeah.
To use Garp as they did, but like technically Garp, I can see them like kind of shifting that role over to Smoker. But it's like, if you think about like what Smoker does really like in this section of the story, like giving him the after credits is so weird compared to like doing literally the exact same scene, even with a cigar, but with Crocodile.
Yeah, true.
It just literally just Crocodile instead of Smoker would have been like, I feel like that would have gotten much more of a reaction.
Have a mirrored like simultaneously two guys like cigars and like but one, you know, it's Smoker on one side and Crocodile on the other one to tease two things.
It could have been Crocodile. It should have just been Crocodile because that ties with the beginning of that quick mention of Baroque work, and then at the end,
or just any Baroque work tease could have been.
Oh, Bon Clay. He looks at Luffy's poster. He's like, "Ooh, what a handsome boy!" Or something.
Or we see like a wax candle and the wax like
we fucking see Warpole and he's like, I'm hungry. Like the villain of the next arc.
We see Chopper smoking a cigar and puts Luffy's fucking picture out.
We see Jamie Lee Curtis on her sleigh.
We see fucking Foxy. He's like, I'm gonna challenge that guy to a Davy bag fight.
My arc's coming soon.
My arc's coming soon in season 5.
cut to an island. We see a treasure chest. It shakes, and out comes an afro, but you don't see anything more than the afro.
What if it just showed his dick and balls like poking out the bottom?
We see it's Kaido's introduction where he fucking falls off of he kills himself. And we think like, was that random guy who killed himself? And then we won't know until season 3.
No, we cut to the screen. We see a woman from behind, and then she does the back bend completely, so her face looks at the camera, and it's Hancock.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, they just tease they have to hire like every actor.
The shot pans up, and it's the law pose from Can We Get Much Higher? Where he's just sitting there staring with his hands.
The reason, I think, realistically, it was probably Smoker because they could probably cast an actor who was like vague enough. Like, if you're gonna have like someone be Crocodile, they're gonna want to get like a big name for that. Especially now that the show has like clout.
I think
I don't know, man. They're casting relative unknowns for this show.
I think they're not
it's
gonna.
Like a season 1. Like a season 1.
Jamie Lee Curtis is probably going to get.
I'll say this. I don't think they're gonna do the Crocodile trans theory. I think what they're gonna do is just make Crocodile into a woman, and that's it.
I forget the Crocodile is Luffy's mom theory, and make it real.
Luffy's like half black. In this, he's Brazilian and half black.
We could just make a dragon.
One scene they already casted Dragon.
Yeah, we don't see him though. We just see behind his cloak.
Oh, the one thing I really did love that they included was Mihawk delivering the Luffy's bounty to Shanks.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was really cool.
And then like Mihawk joining into a drink.
You know what? Fucking, I didn't really like the Shanks actor really, like in all the flashbacks. But once he like is happy at the end, I'm like, oh, I like the way he acts here. I wish he was more like this for the previous scenes.
It was almost like a little too serious.
He was a little bit too serious. He should have been like, because the whole idea is that he's kind of silly.
He wasn't drunk.
Like Luffy modeled himself after Shanks, so Shanks is like a silly guy, you know, right? And hearing him being serious is kind of like, oh, it'd make more sense if Luffy was more serious, but nah.
It was crazy when Shanks said "Commander Hockey" in the first episode. I wasn't expecting.
And then he hockeyed all over that sea beast.
It's so weird. It's so weird when like after Luffy eats the devil fruit, Shanks is all like, "You ate the Joy Boy fruit, Luffy! No, what were you thinking? You're God now."
What were they thinking? God, that is like the hockey is probably one of the worst power systems. I think.
Hockey's very bad.
They could fix it though. 1P could fix it.
They could fix it.
They could. They literally could fix hockey.
As Oda looks over at his things to fix list that's endless because he never wants to work on either.
Netflix writers, if you guys want to steal my ideas of how to introduce gear, go ahead. I don't care. I want. It'd be so awesome if they just do gears the way with my gear rewrite of last episode.
How's your gear rewrite? Because I really like how gear 2
Okay,
and 3
basically, gears are introduced during Drum Island arc, and what I would want to happen is like do the element thing where like Luffy can't stretch in the cold, right? So that gives him a handicap against Whirlpool. So it's not that Whirlpool is like a physical threat; it's more like Luffy can't fight him in the cold, right? So then you have Jamie Lee Curtis tell Luffy that. Well, your veins are like made out of rubber, so if you ever get too cold, you can just pump your blood faster. Although you'll probably like die younger if you do that. But Luffy like ignores that bit, and then he does that. He tries that, and it works. And then he calls it like Gear 1, and then he calls it gear or whatever the fuck. And he uses that against Whirlpool, and that's how he kicks his ass. And then after that, he doesn't use it because after that, he's like in a bunch of warm environments, so there's no point. Until he fucking get to fucking Enos lobby, or maybe he does gear. Maybe he does gear the next gear when he fights Eminem, and then then he does the third one when he fights Rob Cucci.
I actually really like how the gears are done in the manga because it's like he almost hits you with gear 2 and 3 at the same time. So it like introduces the idea of the gears and then like teases you that there's like another one, like there's a big one, and then like
I don't
we
agree.
don't see him use Gear 3 on camera until like the very end.
It feels out of nowhere. Like I wish he heard it from somewhere.
It does.
Yeah,
feel
it doesn't
like
feel like. Yeah, it doesn't feel like something like the Gum. Like, oh, it's Gum pistol because Luffy knows what a fucking gun is, and it's like, oh, my punches are as hard as a bullet, right? Gears. Where did he hear the word gears from? Like he just picks it randomly. It feels weird.
It is weird, but when you were talking about it, because it's like his heart's like pumping fast, like he's pumping his blood faster.
He's shifting faster, yeah, pumping his
yeah,
blood
it's like
faster.
he's shifting into another gear. I can kind of understand that. It doesn't really like come across, especially in the manga when you're reading it. You're just like, oh, he's like steamy. Like he got really hot.
Like, it gets even dumber. So
I thought he was I thought the idea was at least initially presented that he was like hyper compressing his muscles so that it was like he could, I don't know. It's fucking bullshit. It doesn't make sense. It's manga. It's like cartoons, but like the idea of like he's like compressing everything.
And this is why Hunter x Hunter is
when they
better.
had like, I did miss it. They had like drawbacks, like the other older gear, like the first couple ones have like huge drawbacks after they get the use out of them. Like one, he literally deflates.
Well, yeah, when he does Gear 3 initially, he becomes like Baby Luffy, and then that just goes away because he gets stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gear 4, he just needs a little nap, and he's like, no, nothing, he's fine.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Gear 4.
I'm not, like, I really don't, I think all the gear transformations look really fucking ugly. Even Gear 5 doesn't really make too much sense for me.
I've only seen like little bits. I'm trying not to look at it, but I've seen like
that damn picture of him just laughing, and I feel being mocked.
But One Peak will fix
okay.
this, though, guys. Don't worry. The One Peak will fix
all right.
this.
Just wait until Gear 6.
We did jump over a lot of
we were jumping all over here. Netflix One Piece good. This is still my stance.
Yeah, we pitched.
I liked it.
I liked it. We pitched our peak after credits scenes already. So
I do love the idea. There definitely should be like a comedy movie where they keep doing like an after credits scene.
Like Clue.
Like, yeah, like it's like the same scene over and over, just with like a different character.
More every section of credits they have on there, like after you get past all the animators, it's like the next after credit scene. And you do a list of all like the audio, all the caterers, and then like this different after credit scene to every like level of credits.
What MCU would never have the balls to have a different end credit scene for one movie, depending on which movie theater you go to.
No,
yeah,
they wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
Except the fucking Sony Spider-Verse movie will show like 20 different versions of Spider-Verse 2 across like all theaters.
Nice. This is why Spider-Verse is the better MCU. There I said it, gamers.
That's true. That's why Donald Glover shows
up
in that one.
This is why Hunter x Hunter's better.
I'm just curious for season 2, like how far they're gonna go up to. They're gonna spend like longer on like certain arcs, like because people.
I wanted to shift into talking about that
because this is the most debatable. That next stuff has the most debatable part for stuff to cut or like. I think people the most discussion of what to cut.
They introduced Logtown, so Smoker. They're gonna do that for like.
Yeah, Logtown has to be.
They're gonna do Logtown probably for the first half of the next episode. I wish they'd just get more episodes. I don't think 8 is enough. At least 10. 10 would be fine.
It's the most expensive show though ever made. So
yeah, so just like
that was like
so do Logtown, end it with them like they get to Whiskey Peak, and then like the fucking to be continued moment is that they're about to be murdered in their sleep. Next episode 2, them fighting Whiskey Peakers, ends with the episode of them. I think actually, you know what? They could probably just combine Whiskey Peak with the fucking like jungle dinosaur island thing.
Whiskey Peak
cut it.
With
we're
gardens.
Cutting that. We're cutting Little
no,
Garden.
But
we're jumping right from. We're jumping right from Whiskey Peak to Drum Island. We need to do. We need to think like as economically.
No, that's why you combine Whiskey Peaks and with the whole thing with the giants, because I think that's crucial to like Usopp, and that's like lore later.
Yeah, that's a huge Usopp.
Yeah, big Usopp moment.
I think
it is. I would be surprised if they adapted that.
Drum Island in the middle, and then like the last 3 episodes are Alabasta.
I think you could do Alabasta in 4 episodes. Mm-hmm. I think that's
if anything,
doable.
They should meet like Vivi like in Logtown. You could probably skip over the little guy who lives inside Labu.
Yeah, we don't need Laboon. We can just skip Laboon. He's not.
If
he's not that
they
important.
skip
you.
Laboom, that confirms Brooke will not be in it. Like
That also
Good.
introduces the log pose and everything as well.
oh no,
No, he
wait.
needs to
Vivi
fucking
just
do
tells
Laboon.
him about Laboon. That
I met this
I
whale
met this
that I
whale.
killed.
it could be
waiting.
quick. It could just.
or
It could be like half of the Lounge Town episode can just be the Laboon
or
stuff.
yeah. They
Especially like they don't have to do 2 episodes in arc.
they
though.
meet Ace in Log Town,
They shouldn't.
and they beat
I
him.
No.
I could.
They
Oh,
meet
yeah,
Ace in
yeah,
Log Town, and then they reunite in Alabasta. Or no, what? Oh fuck! What if Ace is helping Vivi, and they have to split for a second, and he's like, "Oh, this is my brother Luffy. Like, you gotta he'll help you." And then Luffy's like, "I'll help you, Vivi." And then they go to Whiskey Peak secret Baroque
Do
work.
you think they'll start Vivi as a bad guy though? Because like Vivi starts as like
I
a
want to
bad
see her
guy.
hypno dress. So
I
yes.
think what's gonna happen, because I think Oda's thing was that Vivi wasn't supposed to be like a secret princess, right? So that was kind of like not last minute, but like change it up later,
That's really
right?
interesting.
And I have to see her servant dressed up as Vivi, then explode on a ship.
Okay. Yeah. So they chase.
Also,
Instead of
Wapol will also be played by Danny DeVito.
instead of like Dragon coming in to save Luffy, it's Ace instead. Like he distracts Smoker, right?
They already.
That'd be
yeah,
really good.
I'd be good, but I think they already casted Dragon. I think they're gonna keep that in there.
Have them
Yeah.
both show up.
They both do it at the same time.
Right.
Be like, wait,
Wait.
who was that?
Or
Luffy had to
Did
be
he
first
just do
his
the
grandpa
fucking
and now
fire?
his brother.
Did he just do the freaking fire fist?
fucking
in front
for
of me?
reals, man.
Ace, you can't have that tattoo on your back. We talked
But I'm
about
part
it.
of the
You have to
white-
cover that up.
Beard pirates.
No, Zoro's like, I see nothing wrong with that.
Like,
Zoro also.
whoa,
gets
what the
tattoo.
fuck, Ace? Why do you have that tattoo? Oh, it's because I'm part of the white pirates. I mean,
It's
white
Buddhist,
beard pirates.
It's a Buddhist, I swear.
He cries. It's a Buddhist symbol.
It's a
He
Buddhist
cries
symbol.
flames.
But yeah, I for me, obviously, Crocodile and Robin are like the things that I
Mhm.
want to see the most out of season 2. And actually, Chopper. What are they going to do
Oh,
about
man.
Chopper?
I've heard them talk a bit about it. I think where it's like set up to be a bit practical with Chopper. For what they said, like they have like a they mentioned
Someone like
something for
Photoshop
him.
like Detective Pikachu as Chopper, and they were trying to pass it off as like oh, what if we look like this? And then it's like that actually looks good.
Get a
Like
weird-
that doesn't look bad actually.
One chubby Chopper can be that. If they go like Chibi Chopper, which is like what he like ends
Yo,
up
they
becoming.
could fix Chopper,
like,
dude. They could fix him.
by
They
not
could
having him
fix him.
cry like after he's like after his like early stuff.
That's Alvin and the Chipmunks
Oh my
Chopper.
God.
That's Alvin and the Choppers.
Also
I
voiced by
found
Danny
that one
DeVito.
you're saying. I fucking love Chopper. I hope I know that our favorite guy ever, Jeff Thu, was petitioning
Make
for
Chopper
a
a Muppet. Nah,
Chopper.
Let's not. We don't gotta do that.
Yeah, I think that would be too distracting.
Yeah. Like they gotta do it a specific way. It just can't be like I don't know.
Get a Bigfoot.
I would have to
costume
be
for him.
convinced. Yes. Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Chopper. He didn't eat the human fruit. He ate the Muppet fruit. He ate the CGI human fruit. Is what he ate.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know if I was talking to somebody or I was watching a video or something, but they were trying to like explain that like Muppets are maybe it was from the
I think
Jeff
it was
Lee
from
video
the
where
Jeff
like
Fu
there's
video,
less
yeah.
of like there's less of like an uncanny valley aspect to Muppets. But like I think that you're really like limiting yourself in terms of like shot composition when you're only doing a Muppet, because he's always got to be like right in front of the screen.
yeah, true.
Unless you do that thing where like Kermit, the revolutionary shot where Kermit rides a bike, like
10 out of 10 genius shot where we ride the bike.
I do. I mean, I love Chopper. I want Chopper to get love. So
I want him to eat the bread.
yeah, eat the bread and cry. Plop,
All
plop.
Chopper does that would eat bread and cry.
And like they have the CGI because they have the let's say they have the animatronic that just has like water shoot out of the eyes.
Yeah, they just start shooting water out of his eyes.
I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what they do. It's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
Yeah.
they get it done sooner rather than later because
Nah, it's gonna be. I'm expecting like 2026, maybe 2025 at like the earliest.
I think 2025 is the safer bet.
Yeah, potentially 2025. Get that next season.
Because like production's not even begun. Like,
Oh yeah, writer strike kind of
All to that.
also.
That just started so going.
I was hoping the writer strike would last forever. I didn't want the
That
writer
would be
strike
so
to end.
awesome if it did last forever, and I would love to see what Comic-Con looks like next year.
One writer strike ended, and like a video game one also like it might be starting as well, like a voice, like a video
Actor
game writer or
strike-
voice actor. one.
Actor
That'd
strike
be
is still
amazing.
going, right? Yeah, that one's still going.
I think.
Yeah.
I think
SAG-AFTRA.
animation strike is coming up next year.
All right. Do we have
fucking
anything
awesome.
else to say then about live action One Piece?
Pretty good stuff.
Did-
Um,
Do you have a
do
favorite?
you have any?
You have like a
I was
favorite
gonna say.
in general of it? Your favorite moment or character or whatever?
Like the buggy fan cams that we've been getting. They always just come from the first episode that he appears in. The majority of the fan cams are getting the material from. Can't wait for season 2 for more fan cams.
This is such a random thing, but that one shot where Luffy pulls his cheek and like you see his cheek stretch, and there are so many scenes where they use Luffy stretching in like broad daylight, and it's not like nighttime shots. And I'm just like so amazed at how good it looks and how they just had the courage to be like, you know what, we're gonna have these wacky special CG effects, and we're gonna make them look really good, and it's gonna be fully lit. We're not gonna make any cheap decisions.
So yeah, second Marvel who's too afraid to use stretchy powers for Miss Marvel.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's just fine. Marvel's gonna die in the year, like next year maybe.
Hopefully.
It's awesome.
But I think I really love Buggy in that as well. Like
I've come around to Buggy.
Buggy's
I
got to
appreciate
show up in
Buggy
every
more.
season.
I really
we gotta
like
find a way
his,
to put him in Skypiea.
No,
Kurt-
no one, no.
No. Kuro was good as well. Like a lot of the villains were pretty
I don't
good.
get the point of showing Captain Kuro escaping. There was that quick clip of him just going on a rowboat, but that's never followed up upon. I noticed.
No.
So this is like very, very recent. Apparently, so Captain Kuro has been completely ignored by Oda until like literally 2 weeks ago. He was featured on one of the cover stories in like chapter like 1120 or something.
I remember.
So,
yeah,
Oda's
I remember
cooking.
YouTuber was saying that because like a couple weeks before that happened, they were complaining about like how come no one's ever mentioned Captain Kuro again, and maybe that video.
Why would you want to?
That video probably went around, and then Oda's like, "Oh yeah, huh? Oh yeah, huh?"
Literally his henchman, his like number one henchman, went through an entire arc and like joined the Marines before he was like mentioned.
This is gonna be me when I do Villainverse issue 2000. Someone's gonna be like, "How come Nip Slip is never brought up ever again?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Better bring back Nick Slip."
She is.
He gave the hypnotist an entire fucking character arc, but you won't touch the main villain.
Because he looks like Michael Jackson as base.
He's like Steven Tyler.
Yeah, he does Michael Jackson moves. He's like doing the moonwalk.
Yeah, but he looks like Steven Tyler from
Well, they're
Aerosmith.
brothers, Steven Tyler and Michael Jackson.
They're brothers. Yeah, obviously they look just.
They're the music
same.
brothers. They make music.
But
Isn't it weird that Kobe becomes a Sabo type?
Yeah,
he does become a Sabo
that's a
type.
shame.
Why did that happen?
Mappo is fine though. I think they.
Hamepo is fucking
It'd be
golden. I
fu-
love that boy.
Why is he like have like the like a blind?
It'd be funny if like Helmeppo like dyes his hair green, so it looks more like Zara. I like that. I like that one bit where Helmeppo's like, "I want to show Zoro that he's not the only good swordsman." It's like, bro,
Yeah, good
Yo,
luck with
that's-
that. Oh, you're
fuck,
doing
Oh,
that's never
yes.
gonna happen.
no.
All right, so yeah, I wanted to talk about. I did the one scene that I really, 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 really liked at the very end was the part when they do the cast
Yeah,
off
that was
ceremony, and they all put their foot up, and they have like cuts to like their character as a child saying like, "I'm gonna find the all blue," And it's really funny because like everyone has it except obviously Usopp and Nami. Nami's the only one where it cuts to her flashback and she doesn't like literally say the words, which is fine. Like that's not bad. It's just she didn't realize that she wanted to chart the whole world. But Usopp's scene like hit me. I was like, and I know that's like his thing, like his like dying mom, but like I don't know, something about the way that scene was shot and like just flashing. Everyone's got their whole thing. Everyone's got their like defining moment, and Usopp really doesn't have it. Like Usopp is like kind of adrift. He's like the character without like any sort of focus. And I love that like that's the moment where he cements his like I want to be like a warrior. Like I want to be someone who's strong.
Proud warrior of the sea.
Fuck
Proud
yes.
warrior
Fuck
of the sea. I like the part where Sonny's like, I want to find the all pussy. I love when he says that. I want to find the all meat, all of the meats. I want to eat them at once.
Hey man, I'm pretty sure Usopp's the only one to get a kiss in the entire crew right now.
Zoro says he wants to be the world's greatest dick rider. That would be his mission.
It's true. They're all kissless virgins.
He wants to be in a live action JoJo.
It'd be awesome if it turns out that like Zoro had a son he wasn't raising. There's a whole time.
That would be fucking
Not only is he racist, he's also a deadbeat dad.
Yeah, like later we find like a kid with green hair, and he's like, "Dad," and he's like, "Oh, that's right, my son." Just like
there's only one guy with green hair in the world.
Yeah. Just never. No one asked.
No one asked.
That'd be so epic. There needs to be a shonen that just does that. A character just has a son and just never, like 30 years into the run, never mentioned this secret son. Not even secret. It's just no one ever fucking asked.
Wait, Zoro knows how to fuck? Wait, what?
He fucked once.
Zoro
he would get lost.
Zoro knows.
He would go down on a girl and get lost.
Zoro knows what
every time
is?
he has sex with a woman, he accidentally puts it in her butthole. He's like, "Oops, wrong one."
Even when he was on like Mihawk's Island, he never
puts it in her ear. Accident.
Yeah, he would get lost all the time. He'd be like, "Oh, what? They all look the same to me."
You can't find the.
I
do like this headcanon that you've created of like Mihawk and Zoro just like taking turns on Perona.
That does
for, like,
not
2
sound
years.
like. That does not sound like Zoro.
No, we all know Zoro can never have sex. He can never find where to stick it in.
I don't like the idea of Zoro and Perona being a thing because I love Perona and Zoro's kind of like my least favorite.
Because
she should join the crew because she's like she's too unique of a character to not be.
You know, it's funny because like I didn't even know what like Perona's role was in the original Gecko Morio crew, and then when I looked it up, I'm like, oh, she was the navigator. What the fuck? Really? That's so random. That's like, and she's a woman, so she's the navigator. Oda logic.
God, I love her like goth outfit so much. Like it's so good. I wish her to show up more instead of just like fucking off.
I want her to show up and say like, "Oh, Cheesy, I'm afraid I want to marry you." I wish that should be her next appearance.
Looks into the camera.
No woman
holds her hand out. What if you entered like what's that one song? You'd enter like that with Perona. Like Perona puts her hand out and you jump into the comic with Perona.
Now she would have a crush on Usopp because he's the only guy that can't get depressed off of her ability and like
he doesn't. Her ability doesn't work on him.
Take on me.
Yeah.
You have a take on me moment with Perona.
And like the anti-horny police come in and they're the one chasing us.
That's awesome.
Hey man, Pokemon had the anti-horny police and being like Brock, like Pokemon just pop up. And
Jim,
Brock.
that would be a great 3-panel comic where there's like a fat guy like reading a manga, and you see like the hand coming out, and it pulls him in, and it's like it's like black and white anime girl like dancing with the fat guy.
That's awesome.
I need to drop that before this episode comes out.
Yeah, you should. Didn't Family Guy just do
Family
this
Guy, but it was with Chris, and it was just the Take On Me guy. They didn't even change anything. And this one, he's reading manga.
You should have made it like a Lum or something.
I've been having Family Guy funny moments playing the bottom corner while we record the entire site. I haven't gotten to that yet in the Family Guy funny moments.
I got fucking Subway Surfer playing under Discord so I can pay attention to Discord.
That's the only way that I could watch the One Piece show. I just had to have Subway Surfers playing, playing
right.
over it.
The One Piece version.
It'd be funny if like we do a podcast where we talk about the One Piece show, but we just keep mentioning Family Guy funny moments because we were just really watching that. The One Piece show is fucking boring.
But the scene with Chris when Chris went into the milk machine was really funny.
Scene where like Lois is like, Chris masturbates too much. You see this, and then Brian's like, "What's that? Like a plastic board?" He's like, "This used to be Chris's sheets," and then she drops it and it shatters. I laugh so hard.
We can't do this.
All we do is just describe Family Guy.
Please. I'm watching the Take On Me video. Cheesy, you need to draw this.
Yeah, I will. I'll do it. That sounds like a good idea.
It's like so perfect with like the hand coming
I'll
out
do
of,
it
like,
real quick because I'm working on a fucking I'm working on a Halloween picture, but I'll do that one real quick. All right, guys. So yeah, I think the One Peak is real.
Yeah, I thought like I just can't like say how happy I am about this adaptation. I'm totally eating crow. I thought it was going to be garbage. I thought it was going to be boring.
You
the rewrites.
You suffered through Cowboy Bebop, so.
Yeah, and like I mean, I like watching that from the same studio. I had no reason to believe this was going to be good, and I really do think that it was done pretty well. At the best they probably could have done it, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's more. Yeah, I think it was Oda was there, and that's all it took. It was just.
It really does seem like, because I know like there was a lot of discussion beforehand saying like, oh yeah, Oda is just kind of like waving on this, like he's not actually involved, but it really does seem like he had a significant hand in it and was able to guide it kind of in the right direction.
I'm sure he put something in there to like, you know, he has to oversee some certain choices before.
What if Oda's like, yeah, give Usopp less of a role. I actually secretly fucking hate Usopp. Yeah, I would have always wanted to give him less attention. Really, thanks for fixing that.
That'd be awesome if he just. Oda just hates Usopp, like the best fucking character.
I was just thinking like him. Then he just ends up drawing like what's it? Cronus eats his son, where it's just like Arlong biting off Usopp's head.
He's like, "Can we get Usopp to die?" And it's kind of he was supposed to be the crew member that was supposed to die, yeah, but like he was just too popular. My editor didn't allow it.
During Water 7, Oda actually wanted Usopp to leave.
Imagine if like.
Hey, we gotta make r/shitty One Piece details.
The editor for One Piece was also on the show, and he was like, "Yeah, well, let's like undermine Usopp like a lot." Actually, he sacrificed himself to stop Crocodile in the next season.
You could shut up now.
All right.
God.
All right. Okay, let's end it. Thank you so much, Cheesy Manfredo, for joining us. Would you like to plug anything?
I'm Cheesy Manfredo. Just look up Cheesy Manfredo on YouTube. You'll find my YouTube channel. I have my own podcast that's only on YouTube because I forget to put it anywhere else. And we're gonna do a spooky season with my podcast. And what I mean is my podcast is gonna be exactly the same. The only thing is I'm gonna mention something spooky once in the episode, and that's it. That's gonna be our Halloween thing.
You should do a horror movie episode and bring me on. We should watch a movie. We should just do like a
okay. All right, I got an idea. You ever heard of a movie called Valerie and Her Week of Wonders?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Wait, have you shown Sam that
film.
Movie?
No, I have not shown Sam Valerie and Her Week of Wonders. Sam, I feel like Sam would not enjoy any of the Czech New Wave
Sam's not
films.
cultured like you and me, Jim.
It's true.
But you guys just watch like weird films like
what
that?
What we do is that like just like once in a blue moon, I would be like, Jim, what do you think of this movie? And he's like, yo, that looks neat. And then we'll just talk about it on a podcast. And
I think we've done two or three.
Yeah, we've done three of them technically, if you count Shin Kamen Rider. Yeah, that would be. Yeah,
that's right.
Damn.
I just love I'm gonna show Sam one screenshot of Valerie and Her Week of Wonders, and he'll understand why I like it.
You guys just watch Toku stuff?
That's our other podcast.
Okay.
That's our unofficial.
Actually, Sam, you're a Toku guy.
Yeah, I'm a big Toku
Sam's
guy.
bigger. Sam's arguably a bigger Toku guy than
Hey,
I
don't
am.
even bring me on for Shin Kamen.
Sam, you had a secret Toku podcast. I love
Fuck.
I've
this
told
guy.
Sam about it.
You told me about
this
it.
guy's great.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, Sam's big into the Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider
Sam's
and Super
watched a ton
Sentai.
of that shit.
If you want to go deeper into those holes, let me know. I can find you some weird shit in that
I'm
genre.
gonna do a podcast. Eventually, I will do this because I was gonna write a fan fiction called Kamen Rider Grand Design, where I like try to finagle a continuity between all the Showa writers together. But I was gonna watch all the Showa writer shows, but I was gonna skip a lot of the episodes. I was just gonna watch stuff that would be kind of crucial in creating continuity, and I was just gonna podcast the whole time.
There's some weird shit in that era.
There is, and all these like kind of like particular. I mean, I've seen a lot. That's the majority of Kamen Rider I watch are the Showa era stuff. I'm a pretty big fan of that.
You should also like. There's a really fun, weird Super Sentai parody show called Akiba Rangers. If you haven't
Akiba
seen
Rangers.
that,
Yeah, I've seen it. It's great.
it's great. It's great. It's
Have you seen,
ridiculous. I highly
Have you
recommend
seen
it.
Kampai Sentai V?
I don't think so.
It is another Sentai parody, but all it is like it's implied. It's like after they defeat the monster, they go to like a local karaoke bar and just talk and chill. Yeah, and it's pretty good. The episodes aren't long, and another gimmick is that the whole time they're like talking and chilling, the villains are in the other room like spying on them and hearing everything they talk about. And then, there's one joke that I thought was really funny where they're like, "How come the villains only attack Japan? Like, I thought they wanted world domination. You think they'd be attacking everywhere?" And then after the villain hears that, he like scratches his chin and then he looks up price tickets for Brazil, and it's like too expensive, and he's like, "Never mind."
You do not want to go to Brazil, man.
There's like a million. It's a pretty funny show. It's got 2 seasons. I haven't seen season 2. I might just rewatch the first one.
You should also look up. There's like that era, Showa era, a Kamen Rider called Super One, and there's a backstory. Do you know the backstory of like the main character actor?
Is he the guy who like scammed fans?
Yeah, he scammed fans, saying he was like being like chased by the Yakuza if he didn't pay off. He was like begging them to buy like buy his belt and like basically a bunch of like stuff from the show, and then disappeared off the face of the earth. Like no one has seen or heard from him since.
He got kidnapped by, I don't know the name of the evil group in that show, but he got kidnapped by Shocker. No, Shocker is like the first 3, and then after that each one gets their own group.
Yeah, but Shocker pops up still,
they
even
pop
like
up
to like
once
2000s.
in a while. In Kamen Rider Stronger, they're called Black Satan.
Oh god, Stronger Suit's one of my.
I fucking love
favorite.
Stronger. Oh god, I got a bootleg copy of like Stronger on DVD, and I was watching through all the episodes, but then I stopped. I was watching it at the start of COVID, and then I got into other things, so I didn't catch up.
I'm about to start a new series soon, so like I don't know. I can't wait to go through that, but I'm gonna like be like into it again.
Yeah. Yo, Jim, Sam's cool. Why the fuck did you not? Why the fuck did you not introduce me to Sam? What the hell?
Yeah, Jim. What the fuck, Jim?
He wanted to keep his friends separate.
Yeah, I don't fit where he eats.
Wait a second. Hold up. Slow down.
You can figure out which one is which. Winks at Sam.
Go to the comment section and guess which one. How would I know?
All right. All right. We can have Sam on the next Toku
nice. Well,
whenever we record that in 2029. All right.
I'll trick you.
Let's wrap this
where,
up.
like, I might make you a Toku show, but I'm going to edit it that goes right into Sleepaway Camp instead, Jim.
Now that's a good Toku.
That should be our next cinema club is Sleepaway Camp for the Halloween season.
I fucking love Sleepaway Camp.
Okay, you guys could be pro Sleepaway Camp. I'll be anti Sleepaway Camp. And then the
less you know, the better.
It is easier to be anti Sleepaway Camp.
I've seen it before. I'll rewatch it.
We gotta trick somebody who hasn't seen or heard about it.
Maybe Spork hasn't seen it. We'll look. I'll go through the laundry list of buddies. All right, okay. One Peak, good. Cheesy Manfredo on everything. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Cheesy Manfredo. Cheesy Manfredo forever.
Look forward to the Take on Me.
Yeah, look forward to the Take on Me comic coming soon.
All right, should we plug it up then?
All right, plug it up, Sam.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We're plugging up the giant wound in Zoro's gut.
Yep.
All right. Thank you all for listening. If you like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, give it a like, share, leave a review wherever you are listening to. You can also follow us on Twitter, or it has me and Jim's handles on there as well. And also, if you want your name shouted out on the beginning of Jokakaka episodes for JoJo, just leave at anything you're comfortable leaving on the Patreon, and your name will be shouted out. And with that, that's everything, right? Anything else? Last call?
I think so. That's everything. Let's finish this up. Goodbye everybody. Thank you for listening.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.